Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host of the Racing for the Climate broadcast show, Nicki Shields.
Hello and welcome. Can you believe it? It is time for another episode of Racing for the Climate, and it is round 8. We have had a phenomenal 7 rounds so far of the RCCO World EX Championship, and we go racing again tonight for round 8 on yet another iconic racetrack. Can you guess where we're going? Well, if you haven't read about it already, we're going to be racing at Monza. Of course, it is one of the fastest racetracks in the world. It's definitely very well suited to our fully electric EX0 car, of course. And actually in testing, the car has managed to reach speeds of over 350 kilometers an hour. Pretty mind-blowing, that's for sure. Now, I think hopefully you're looking forward to this event as much as we are. We've got 5 drivers who have so far qualified for that big finale on the famous Nürburgring Neuschleife track, which will be taking place on November 23rd, which isn't actually that far away. Time is ticking. So today, of course, we'll be finding out to discover if another driver will be able to qualify for that big finale. Remember that date, November 23rd. Put it in your diary, put it in your calendar now, because it's going to be a finale not to be missed. Now, as I'm sure you are aware by now, Racing for the Climate combines thrilling esports racing, but with a twist. It's all about the future of mobility, innovation, and of course, at its heart is sustainability. So let's take a look at our host country today, which of course is Italy. Now, Italy is well known for its culture, art, and of course its worldwide famous cuisine. And today our 20 racers get to deal with the high-speed track of Monza. 60.3 million people live in the beautiful country of Italy, but the 2030 climate target is actually higher than that of the European Union. The country also wants to be climate neutral by 2050. So NLX and Volkswagen have actually teamed up for better electric mobility in Italy. 2 companies plan to install more than 3,000 charging points of up to 350 kilowatt each, which is pretty powerful, that's for sure. Now, Turin, Italy's motor city, has now a test centre that offers OEMs a laboratory to research, experiment and certify innovations in the related fields of smart mobility. So there we have it. Some facts there about Italy, our host country, which of course, just like other European countries, is working really hard at the moment to reach their climate goals set by the European Union. And being British, I really hope we follow suit, because I think we need 3,000 charging points of that 350 kilowatt capability, because that is fast. And looking at the current motorway service stations and charging capabilities, they're not so good here in the UK. Anyone that's driving an electric vehicle will relate to that. Anyway, the RCCO World EX Championship and Racing for the Climate, of course, are supporting these goals. And along the way, we are very proud to have some really brilliant drivers and teams in the series which are spreading that message. Now, one of the drivers comes from the home of chocolate. It comes from Switzerland, and it's been founded by a real world racing drivers. Which was active in Formula E and also in DTM last season. Let's take a look and get to know one of our drivers, Nico Mueller, for Nianco ESports.
Nianco ESports was founded by the 2-time DTM runner-up and Nürburgring 24 Hours winner Nico Mueller, and is the Swiss outfit in the new RCCO World EX Championship. Before creating Nianco, Nico Mueller took his first steps in the world of esports back in 2020, when he and his former Audi DTM teammates competed in the RCCO #RaceHome charity racing series, and he was successful straight away by winning the driver's title. The name Nianco stands for Nico & Co., And together with fellow racing drivers and friends, the real-world motorsports star entered the world of esports with his very own team.
Well, the idea of starting my own sim racing team wasn't a spontaneous decision, it was a process, I would say. I kind of got into the Swiss sim racing scene a little bit, and I started realizing that I think it would actually have space in that scene.
With their passion for sports, irrespective of whether it's classic racing or virtual racing, Nianco combines experience and success from real-world racing with the challenges and opportunities of esports.
That's why I thought, let's sit together with some of my colleagues. One of them is by the way, Racing Field Simulators, and my friend Patrick Niederhausen. And we decided that, that's the way to go. We want to be involved in the world of sim racing, and we decided to found Nianco.
For now, the esports team around Nico Mueller is involved in the dynamic environment of esports racing series, and Nianco is aiming to expand further in esports in the future.
And I'm very excited that joining me now is Nico Mueller. Nico, how are you doing? Good to see you.
Good evening, Nicky. My pleasure. Yeah, all good. Thank you. Very excited to finally be able to race again as well. And not only, take care of our drivers in the team, but also get active behind the wheel myself again.
Yeah, that must... how does it feel, actually? Yes, when you are a racing driver, but yet you're not racing, and you have to watch your team race instead. You get quite frustrated.
Well, not really, because they do a good job. It's cool to see, especially Thomas, who's our sim racer, who's really having great pace. Not really had the luck on his side so far, but he's very close to the very top guys here, and I'm proud of seeing that. And I hope I can get close-ish at least today.
Well, you've had a rather busy year, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're busy out there on real racetracks still at the moment, so I'm happy that I kind of managed to squeeze that round in the second time that I actually managed to participate in World EX until it's back, to real racing this weekend at the Hockenheim ring for the second last round of DTM.
Nice. Well, good luck for that. No, don't
Thank
be
you
silly. Grab some water. Now, talk us through your kind of like your first step into esports racing, because I know you were really dominant in the Race Home charity racing series with the Audi e-tron Vision Gran Turismo. Was that your kind of first step into esports, or had you done bits before?
No, actually, really competing, it was the first time. Yeah, I did some work together with Racing Field Simulators. That's the guys building our simulators here in Switzerland. And been involved a bit in that, but never really competed, and that's what makes it most interesting. So I was quite excited once the idea came up from Mike and Thomas to build this Race Home charity racing series when we were all sitting at home and bored. And from then on, I was pretty sure that why not continue that? And there's always a bit less busier times in the year, and they are coming up now. So I'm looking forward to get involved even more and take the next step with our team.
Yes, because I guess initially it was probably quite easy to focus on esports when we were all in lockdown and the world of racing kind of shut down. But now you're obviously very busy, so you got to juggle both real world and the esports together.
Yeah, exactly. I've, let's say, been in a very lucky situation that we have great drivers that don't need a lot of babysitting, as I tend to say. So they are professional in what they do. And luckily that allowed me to, also 100% take good care of my actual job at the moment. And, the passion is there for both. And sometimes it's not so easy to find the right compromise, not really because of the commitments you give to someone, but because you want to be 100% giving your best in whatever you do. At least that's how I normally tend to think. And so far, I haven't really felt like I managed to put as much effort into the esports stuff as I would like to do. But that was clear from the beginning, and that's why we're here for a long-term project and looking forward to see where it leads.
Although you mentioned babysitting there, slight tangent, you became a dad last year, so your hands really are full. They're very busy. How is the new addition to your family?
It's great, very good. I mean, both the little one and the mom are doing great, even though my only wish at the moment is that he will learn to sleep a bit better. So it's normally quite short nights, but I get to go away and sleep in hotels when we go racing. So
Yes.
I recover there, and it's all good. Lots of fun, and getting more and more fun day by day. So yeah, very happy.
Good. It does just get better. Yes, I suppose, going away for work is now more of a holiday for you, where if you get a good night's sleep, it makes a big difference.
It actually feels like that, yeah.
And I mean, obviously now that I'm sure you thought about it before, but now that, you've got a young child, does it make you think more about the environment and perhaps more about the future of our planet, and make you feel like you need to be more responsible about sustainability and what your actions and how they're accountable?
Well, I would say I was already, quite aware of the footprint I'm
Right.
leaving behind on this planet before that,
Yeah.
but it kind of, puts more heart and soul into it, I would say. Yes, you were kind of having the thought in your mind before, creating a next generation, if you want to call it like that. But now, when it's actually there and you experience the love you can feel for a human being, it's making it even more intense, and definitely, gives you even more motivation to have a positive impact on this planet. And if we can transport that message through sports, even better. I think combining passion and such an important message is very powerful, and that's why we're proud to be a part of it.
Yeah, good, brilliant. And also, I think you suddenly realise when you have a small child how much stuff they need. So you've got to act responsibly when you buy things. You've got to buy the sustainable
Yeah,
stuff.
definitely, and it is definitely a kind of an eye opener in several areas, and makes you think twice in several occasions.
Good. Now, before we say goodbye, let's briefly talk about how this season is going and what's coming up next. Because, of course, your Formula E season, unfortunately, it was really sad. It ended slightly prematurely, and the DTM has been a bit of a challenge. Hasn't quite gone according to plan. But what do you think? How things are going for you at the moment, and what's coming up next? What can we look forward to?
Yeah, unfortunately, it was quite clear from the beginning that at some point in the season, with calendars clashing and stuff, that I would have to decide for one project, and I would have loved to continue and finish the Formula E season off in style. It's been actually a pretty good one, regarding or respecting all the circumstances, scoring a podium, several times in the points. So I think we can tick that off as a positive one, even though it was only a half season. But in DTM, we started off promisingly with a podium at the first weekend, but then suddenly ran into quite big issues, which I think somehow managed to resolve, now in the last few rounds. But obviously, we have lost a lot of ground in the championship, and the goal clearly was, to fight for the title. And to be realistic, that train has left the station, so it's definitely not satisfying. That's clear. But we're not giving up. We now aim to finish this season on a high, and in Hockenheim and Norrisring, which are the last two rounds, we want to still show what we can do, and fight for those podiums again. And I think that's where we belong. I know the car quite well now. I know the team well. They know me, and I think we've made some good steps into the right direction, which hopefully will allow us to do so. And then we'll see where the road takes us. I think it's very exciting times ahead. Even in years where things don't really go your way, which definitely was unfortunately the case this year, I felt like I've grown a lot, and I'm even more ready for what the future holds.
Good. Well, fingers crossed. We'll be supporting you to end the season on a high. So good luck for that one.
Thank you very much.
Now, obviously tonight we are racing in Monza, which is kind of, would you consider it a bit of a home track for you? I mean, I know you live in Switzerland, but Monza is pretty close in terms of big circuits. How well do you know it?
Yeah, pretty well. Unfortunately, I haven't raced there that often lately. This year in DTM, was ending a very long break of racing in Monza, finally. It was great to be back. I love the place. When you enter the paddock, there is that crispy air you're breathing. It's the atmosphere that you feel straight away is different than at any other racetrack. And I just love racing there, love being there even. And anyway, the culture is great, in beautiful Italy. The food is great. All the circumstances are perfect.
Yeah.
And then the racetrack could normally delivers a great show as well. It's, slipstream battles all the way. It might look quite simple from the outside as a track, but it actually has quite a few special corners where you need to find the tricks to be really fast, and then it's normally very strategic races. And I think that will probably also count for World EX tonight. So we're really looking forward how that plays out. But it feels like a bit of a home track, which I always love going to.
And did you have some pizza and pasta to really, get into the environment and correct atmosphere ahead of tonight's race?
Believe it or not, but we had pizza half an hour ago. Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, today's cheat day, I said. So I will actually burn some calories behind the steering wheel here. So we're allowed a pizza. And actually,
Brilliant.
the little one
I was
loved
not
it too, so it's a
expecting
good
that
sign.
answer. Well, then the next question is, what was on your pizza? Because, the topping is crucial. It's very critical to find out what you had on the top of your pizza.
Well, quite boring vegetables, actually, because I thought, cheat day, okay, but need to get my vitamins at the same time. So broccoli, spinach, and all that healthy stuff.
Wow, broccoli on a pizza. Interesting.
Yeah, it's actually very good. I can only recommend. I don't know if
if
I would still be allowed to enter Italy if they know, but at least that's what they do here, and it's pretty good.
Don't worry, we won't tell anyone.
It's not pineapple, so I hope they accept it.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, yeah, that's all right. If it was pineapple, you'd be disqualified for the competition for the evening.
Probably, yeah.
Well, Nico Mueller, a real pleasure to talk to you, and good luck for tonight. We really hope you manage to secure your place in the finale, of course, at the Nürburgring Nordschleife. So hopefully we'll see you in the finale then.
Thanks, Nicki. Cheers.
Thanks, Nico. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, there we go. You learn something new every day. Even Nico Mueller, healthy racing car driver, they even have pizza for dinner, although with broccoli. Not sure how I feel about that. Anyway, let's find out what has been going on in, the rounds 1 to 7, because we've had lots going on. We've had 7 stunning events so far, with a total of 5 drivers that have qualified for the finale, which is on November the 23rd, which is already in your diary, isn't it? But before we do head into round 8, let's catch up with the news from the RCCO World EX Championship.
5 World EX drivers have already secured their ticket for the championship deciding finale of the RCCO World EX Championship on the famous Nürburgring Nordschleife on November the 23rd. Lasse Sorensen, Philippe Dennis, Risto Capit, Martin Stefanko and Bruno Senna. TK9 eSpeed's Lasse Sorensen is the man to beat in Season 1 of the RCCO World EX Championship. The Dane was victorious at Silverstone, Sebring and Interlagos and finished second in the round at Estoril. Philippe Dennis was a surprising winner at Sepang when the US boy won at his debut in World EX for BS Plus competition. In a spectacular race on the streets of Maastricht, Risto Capit scored the first victory for Romain Grosjean's R8G ESports, which became the first team to achieve a 1-2 victory in the series. In the night race at Estoril, Martin Stefanko was able to keep Lasse Sorensen at bay in the super final, scoring the first World EX victory for Williams ESports. Bruno Senna made it 2 wins in a row for Williams ESports at Spa-Francorchamps, with Martin Stefanko making it a 1-2 for Williams. The famous outfit from the UK is thus the first team having secured 2 tickets for the World Championship deciding finale on the Nordschleife. With just 3 more races to go, 3 more drivers could still make the cut. The driver with the most victories will start the championship deciding race from pole position. Right now, that's Lasse Sorensen. But there is another factor. A bad sustainability rating will cost grid positions. RCCO has partnered with Carbon Connect AG from Switzerland to rate the daily life of drivers who are racing for the climate.
Okay, so there we have it. They are the drivers who have already made the cut. Very exciting and congratulations to them. But we will find out who else is going to make it through to that grand finale. Now, as we've mentioned, we are racing in Italy at the world famous track of Monza. And let's take a look at what has been going on for the news in the world of RCCO World EX Championship.
WRT has clinched the drivers' and teams titles of the 2021 European Le Mans Series, with one round to go, winning on their home track at Spa-Francorchamps. One of the team's 3 drivers was Yifi Yi, who is racing for Absolute Racing in the RCCO World EX Championship. Romain Grosjean was the star of the recent IndyCar race at Laguna Seca, storming from 13th on the grid to score his 3rd podium finish of the season in 3rd place. He passed 27 cars in total in the race, most of them in the famous corkscrew corner. Grosjean's outfit, R8G, was the first team to commit to the RCCO World EX Championship. Grosjean will miss the World EX round at Monza due to clashing commitments, with Gordon Much racing his R8G EX0. World EX partner Abt Sportsline will enter Formula E star Lucas de Grassi in the final 4 rounds of the DTM at Hockenheim and the Norris Ring. De Grassi is a United Nations ambassador for clean air and an advocate of emission-free mobility. His CO2 footprint will be offset by Moss, an innovative company that combines CO2 offsetting with blockchain technology. Lucas de Grassi's championship-winning race engineer from Formula E has built a radio-controlled version of the EX0. The stunning 1:5 scale model is fully electric and competing against internal combustion engines. Marcus Michael Berger set the fastest race lap on the car's debut in the German Championship. Henry Drury will be at the wheel of the number 33 EX0 for the final 3 events of the inaugural World EX season. The US-based Briton impressed Patrick Long ESports when he subbed for Gabi Chavez last time at Spa-Francorchamps. The S Plus competition has been very active in between the 2 World EX rounds at Spa and at Monza. Philippe Dennis competed in a real-world eco-rally, visited Marley's open space at the IAA Mobility in Munich and the Sim Racing Expo at the Nürburgring, where he was also able to test a real GT4 car. Dennis has already secured his ticket for the championship deciding finale of the RCCO World EX Championship by winning on his debut in the series at Sepang. World EX co-founder Mike Rockenfeller will have a second outing in the series as a wildcard driver at Monza. Rocky recently was victorious in the opening round of the RCCO ESports series at Imola, racing the AVD VIP car.
Oh, it's been rather busy, hasn't it? Lots of news to catch up on there, and good to see Dennis there, keeping himself busy and actually getting to experience life behind the wheel in a real race car. Now, we have got double duties for the World EX co-founder Mike Rockenfeller tonight. Not only, of course, is he joining me as our expert in commentary, but he's also going to be racing himself for a second time after competing at the EX Prix of the USA at Sebring earlier this season. Now, not quite sure how much practice he's put in, but I think we're just going to have to cheer him on because it's the participation, of course, that counts in this game. It's not at all. It's the winning. But anyway, we will find out how Mike gets on very shortly. But in the meantime, let's go on a quick lap at Monza in the 1000 electric horsepower EX race car.
Tonight we are in Monza, Italy for our next round of the World EX Championship. I think it's a fantastic track, a lot of high speed sections, so we will see some good overtaking possibilities, and I will now take you on board and show you around and do one lap here in Monza, so have fun. We start the lap as usual on start finish here in Monza. Very high speed track, like we said, and more than 350 kph before braking for the first chicane. Easy to lock up, easy to overshoot. Then try to have a good exit here before we are in Curva Grande. Long right-hander, flat out. Again, we are already more than 330 kph before we brake for the second chicane. Here, high curbs, so it's better to avoid, I think. And then we arrive for Lesmo 1, which is a nice right-hander, banked corner. And then Lesmo 2, important to have a good exit, good momentum. Keep it up, because then there's a long straightaway here before we arrive for Variante Ascari, one of the favorite sections, of my favorite sections here on the track. Left, right, left. Again, now the back straight is super long. Top speed is high. You can overtake before the last corner. It's called Curva Michele Alboreto. And then again, early on power is important. And we are back on start finish. And that was a lap in Monza. And have fun. I hope you enjoyed it.
We did enjoy it, Mike. Thank you very much. Hopefully you enjoyed it too. Right, well, that is the end of our pre-race show. Our qualifying show is literally starting in the next couple of minutes, so don't go anywhere. Go and pour yourself a cup of tea, grab a cup of coffee, whatever you need to do. But do join us in a moment for our qualifying show as racing starts with level 1 and, of course, those 10 one-lap qualifying races. See you very shortly. Sound check. Can you hear me?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host of the Racing for the Climate broadcast show, Nicki Shields.
Racing for the Climate in round 8 of the RCCO World EX Championship at Monza. Hopefully you joined us earlier for our pre-show where we caught up with Nico Mueller, one of the drivers of today. We also took a little look around the track. Monza, what an epic circuit. The World EX race car managed to top speeds of 350 kilometers an hour in testing. So prepared to be dazzled. It's going to be a fantastic round of racing today. But now we are going straight into qualifying. So let's take a look at how the drivers are going to line up on the grid.
This is level 1, the qualifying.
Okay, so here we have it. We've got Yiffy Ye, the pro driver. He'll be lining up alongside Lasse Sorensen, who's been absolutely phenomenal so far this season. The Nianco ESports, we've got Thomas Schmid going head-to-head against the TK9 E-Speed driver. We've also got Mike Rockenfeller, who's on triple duties this weekend. He's got a busy night ahead against Gordon Much, one of the other pro drivers. Alan Terzic goes head-to-head against eSports driver Martin Stefanko for Williams eSports. Then we got Dries van Thor, the number 32 car, up against Bruno Senna, who won last time out for the Williams eSports team. Mauricio Capet, who's impressed so far this season, is going up against one of his rivals, Michi Hoyer. Now, Nico Mueller, the driver that we spoke to earlier, who heads up the Nianco eSports team, will be going up against Nicholas Hilbrand for Biella Racing. Then we've got Emily Jones, the number 61 wild card, who's going up against Fabrice Cornelis, the WRT driver. Bikes Gavissa is back for the BS Plus competition team, and she will be going up against British racing driver Henry Drury. Liam Duval is here racing for, well, he'll be supporting France, but he's racing for Patrick Long. We've also got Luca Kita up against him. Right, there is the man, Lasse Sorensen. Let's see if we can have a catch up with him, see how he's doing and how the practice has been going ahead of today's race in Monza. Lasse, how are you? Now, I can't hear you. I'm not quite sure if anyone else can hear you. Let's try again.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you loud and clear. Brilliant.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you very much. And I hope you're good as well.
Very well. Thank you for asking. Been putting in lots of practice, or has it been a relaxing build up into this race?
Yeah, I had a couple of days practice this time. So I think I feel quite ready, as well as the whole team, TK9, feels ready, I think.
Good. That's what we like to hear. And Nico Mueller has said he's already eaten pizza this evening to really get into the Italian vibe. Have you done the same?
Not yet, but I have a pizza waiting for me for after. So
Perfect. Brilliant. Well, enjoy. Good luck. And we'll get through this quickly so you can eat your pizza.
Thank you.
Right. Let's speak to Yiffy, who Lasse Sorensen is going to be going head to head with in this qualifying race. He'll be racing for Absolute Racing. Yiffy, how are you?
Great. Hope you too. Thank you.
Yeah, we're good, thank you. Now, talk us through Monza. This is a track, lots of challenges. What's the biggest challenge going to be for you today?
Things braking, to be honest. The car has extremely big amount of horsepower, so the braking phase is very long, and also coming with cold brakes into turn 1 after the start will be quite tricky, so will be lots of close battling to turn one. So yeah, braking will be tricky. So it'll be interesting to see how the race will go.
Excellent. Well, good luck to both of you for qualifying, and let's see what does happen going into that first turn. Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we are standing by then to get our Q1 underway, and don't worry, Nicki Shields and Dave Richardson have pizza standing by as well. So the car's about to line up on the grid then for this first Q race, and it is Monza, Temple of Speed, a cathedral, a cauldron of action, and wow, Yiffy Yi and Lasse Sorensen, are we being treated to a great Q1 or what? Our first action to come here at Monza. We are standing by for this then. The cars are lined up on the grid. Can't wait to go racing. So looking forward to it. Hold on to your hats. Oh, held a long time at the lights. For my money, Lasse Sorensen getting a better start, trying to squeeze Yiffy Yi right at the start as they head into the Variante de Retafio, the first chicane then. The scene, of course, of so much action. Yiffy already saying that with cold brakes, that's always going to be difficult. Well, Lasse Sorensen absolutely mastered it and nailed it. They're into Curva Grande now, where you carry so much speed. If you're watching Mike Rockenfeller demonstrate this track earlier on, it was fantastic to watch. Here comes Yiffy Yi on the outside of Lasse Sorensen. A little bit of paint is traded as they go through the Variante della Rogia. Stand by, turn 6 and 7 are on their way. This is Lesmo 1 then. And then, of course, a little blast of throttle before Lesmo 2. And Lasse Sorensen then with a clean pair of heels being showed to Yiffy Yi as we continue on this lap then. Saraglio is where we are now and heading into Ascari. So with Lasse Sorensen then half a second to the good over Yiffy Yi through the Ascari then, and then this long straight where you run down behind the paddock here at Monza, heading towards the Parabolica, again where you carry so much speed. 300 and goodness knows what kilometers per hour in these fantastic World EX0 cars. And Lasse Sorensen then heads to break the timing beam. And the first blood going to the man, the most winningest man in the RCCO World EX Championship, Lasse Sorensen. So congratulations being offered both to Yiffy Yi and to Lasse Sorensen.
Yeah, good start. I was a bit slower off the line than...
I think it's more grip on the outside line.
All right.
I'm not sure, but I think so.
Well, for my money, Lasse, you got a start absolutely nailed, friend. Well done to you. So, Lasse Sorensen then for TK9 E-Speed immediately through to level 3. Yiffy Yi, his time will come again for Absolute Racing in level 2.
Saying he thinks he got a bit more speed off the start.
Well, I think, like Lasse said, he practiced a few days, so you could see he's in good shape. He takes it serious, and Yiffy did a great job as well. It was a close battle, and Lasse didn't make any mistakes, so it was nice to see the first battle. I think we will have great racing tonight in Monza.
Oh, yes, very excited. Well, let's go to our next qualifying session, qualifying 2, because Thomas Schmidt is there waiting in the wings for Nianco ESports. Thomas, welcome. Don't know whether you managed to catch that first race. Did you learn anything from that?
Yeah, I saw it, and it's quite difficult still to overtake despite the slipstream, so we will see.
Yeah, where do you think the best overtaking opportunity is going to be during the course of this race if you do have a slightly trickier start like we saw with Yiffy?
I think it's before or in the second chicane. Afterwards, it's hard to to stay close. Yeah, we will see.
All right, brilliant. Thanks, Thomas. Good luck. Let's have a chat to the TK9 E-Speed driver who's going up against Thomas. Lasse Back, who is, of course, the teammate of Lasse Sorensen. 2 Lasses in one team. How confusing. Lasse, have you managed to get some tips from Lasse Sorensen? Because he's been doing rather well so far this season.
Yeah, he's been giving me a lot of tips. He's definitely like a really good driver. I have got here to learn me the game. I'm fairly new on R Factor. Haven't actually participated in any competitions on this game, so it's really new for me. But I'm enjoying it so far.
How difficult is it when you're playing on a new game that you haven't experienced before? Obviously, you've got a lot of experience in the esports and racing world, but jumping across into a new game, how hard is that?
It's difficult if you're doing it alone, definitely. But as I said, I have Lasse Swanson, which is he's a really good R Factor driver. So it's definitely helped me a lot to have him learn me the game, all the tips and what to look out for and how the tires work. So yeah, it's a big help to have him. But if I was doing it alone, I probably wouldn't be on this pace.
So which other championships have you raced in previously?
I mainly do iRacing. That's like the main sim I use. So just a lot of special events and a little bit of Porsche Cup and stuff. So yeah.
Well, welcome aboard and good luck for your first qualifying race.
Thank you.
Back then, who's got the mood lighting perfect around his simulator? Did you notice that? And he's downplaying his chances before we've even got underway. I think this is going to be rather good. So Thomas Schmidt then with a very good start, but Lasseback is with him as they head towards the first chicane, then turns 1 and 2 here at Monza. And Lasseback now, he's got the inside line. Good move there, the Nianco eSports driver Thomas Schmidt coming back at him now as they head into the Curva Grande. So side by side they go then, and this is very, very close. So Lasseback then just making that car as wide as possible to try and deny Thomas Schmidt the opportunity of coming through here. So Lasseback, as I suggested, I did half wonder whether he was just downplaying his chances here, but he's certainly doing a very good job as Thomas Schmidt in frustration gets oh so sideways. And there is Thomas Schmidt making adjustments to the car, as you can see. And Thomas Schmidt really concentrating hard. And of course, what he's got to do is try and find a way past Lasseback. And at the moment, he isn't within shouting distance because there's 6/10 between them. So into the Ascari now comes Lasseback and Thomas Schmidt. You go right, then left, and then, of course, it is this long straight where you can really stretch the legs of these wonderful EX0 cars. And Lasseback then is just far enough away so that Thomas Schmidt is not able to get the benefit of the draft off the back around the Parabolica here. So Lasseback then is going to head for the timing line. He breaks the beam and wins against Thomas Schmidt. So, well, that came as a surprise, or did it? Lasseback then, it's the mood lighting, you know. It's done everything for him. He won by very nearly 0.4 of a second over Thomas Schmidt, and Lasse saying that didn't have that much experience, in fact, nil experience of this particular setup. Well, he took to it like a duck to the proverbial water. A very good job indeed. So, both the Lasses then, TK9 E-Speed, have performed. Lasseback taking P1 in that. He's through to level 3. Level 2 for Thomas Schmidt, who will come again for Nianco eSports. That was enjoyable.
So it's the two Lasses that have won both those qualifying so far. Mike, you're qualifying next, I think. How are you feeling?
Well, I think I need to change my name to Lasse. It looks like your name needs to be Lasse to be successful. No, but it was great to watch, and I learned a bit. But they are really, really good. Those guys.
What did you learn?
I think
what did you learn?
Well, I mean, how they break into the first corner with cold brakes and tires, it's amazing. How they keep it on track. So again, those two first rounds were excellent to watch, and I just hope I don't embarrass myself too much.
Well, we look forward to catching up with you afterwards. Good luck, Mike.
Thanks.
Let's have a quick chat to Gordon Much, who's going up against Mike in this race. He's here with R8G Esports. Gordon, you're going up against Mike Rockenfeller. How do you feel about that?
Hunting, of course, I look up to Mike a fair bit with, because GT racing is, of course, my dream, my ambition. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we get a clean turn one and have some nice battles.
You wouldn't let him win, would you?
I wouldn't quite go that far. I mean, I've got a lot of respect for him, but I wouldn't win at the same time. I'm also a racing driver as well.
Good, that's what we like to hear. All right, good luck for the race.
Thank you.
That was a darned good answer, Gordon Much. So, Gordon Much up against Mike Rockenfeller then in this, our third qualifying, the
luck,
pro
Mike.
drivers, Mike Rockenfeller.
Good luck.
Wild card. Gordon Much.
Don't make me look too slow, please.
Nah, you'll be fine.
There is Rocky. Stand by then. Here come the klaxons. Mike Rockenfeller with the inside line then puts the rubber down, but Gordon Much is matching him absolutely centimetre by centimetre then as they make the first run into turn number one. Cold brakes, of course. Gordon Much then on the outside. Is he going to squeeze Mike? They do trade a little bit of paint. Mike gets a little bit sideways. There was a little bit of contact from Gordon Much. Absolutely nothing malicious. It's just the way that two into that funnel does not necessarily go. So Mike Rockenfeller, the wildcard pro driver, is leading Gordon Much at the moment, but this is not all over by any stretch of the imagination. So Mike Rockenfeller, you can see just how hard he is having to concentrate here. Not only is he talking into microphone, into camera, he's racing. He's also in race control as well. And here comes Gordon Much. I promised you it's not all over yet. The gap is down to less than 3/10 now as Gordon Much is hunting, and he's hunting Rocky ahead of him. Mike Rockenfeller is more than well aware of the fact that Gordon Much is right up his trumpet now. And this is going to be critical. Here comes Gordon Much getting the benefit of a little bit of a tow here. So into the Ascari they go. It's my favourite part of this Monza circuit. And he deals with it beautifully. Oh, Gordon Much running just probably a little bit too wide there. Is he going to be able to hold on to this? And is he going to be able to track Mike Rockenfeller into the Parabolica? He decides to go to the outside. Does Gordon Much? Will he try and get underneath the Mike Rockenfeller car now then? Mike Rockenfeller using all the tarmac. This is the closest so far. Barely a tenth between them. It's going to be almost a photo finish as they run towards the line. And what a race.
Hey, thanks. Was it okay for you in the first chicane?
I did get podded off a fair bit. I mean, well, I'm not too sure. I need to look at the replay, mate.
Yeah,
so good.
But anyway, man, good race, and I'm sure you make it in the next round. Thanks.
Yeah, no worries.
Oh, there was just a tenth and a bit. That was so close. Gordon Much then and Mike Rockenfeller. That was a brilliant Q race. I love the one lap. It's just so entertaining. So Mike Rockenfeller then for TV Racing through to level 3 immediately. Gordon Much for RCCO Esports. He will go again, of course, in level 2, and you certainly wouldn't bet against him coming through. So P1 and P2, as you can see in graphics. Stand by. Let's go back to Nicki Shields.
That was a close one, wasn't it? Let's speak to Mike to analyse his own qualifying race.
Well, I have to say the only good part from my side was the start. I probably did a good one there, and yeah, that helped me. And then I just tried to defend and stay on track. And yeah, from my side, I thought it was fair. I hope it was, because all I want to do is be fair out there for sure.
Oh, of course. Although I did sense a little bit of tension in Gordon's voice. I think he will be watching that replay and putting potential complaints into the stewards. But aren't you also the steward, Mike?
Tonight, yeah, so far, yes, our race director has technical issues.
So there you are, Gordon.
I think he has bad luck
much.
for him. No, but I think it was all fair and square, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think it was my corner there.
Brilliant. All right then. Well, thanks, Mike. Let's go into our next qualifying race. Qualifying 4 with Alan Terzic. Alan, good to see you. As always, welcome back. So Monza, what are your expectations?
Monza, yes. A lot of drafting. And a lot of drafting, that's about it.
There we go. Good. That's what we like to hear. Learned anything from the races that we've seen so far?
Not really, not anything we haven't learned in practice already.
Yeah. And obviously you're going up against Martin Stefanko, who has already secured himself a position in the grand final.
Yeah, just let the unlucky man win.
Brilliant. All right. Good luck, Alan.
Thank you.
Martin Stefanko, so you're racing for Williams Esport, as always. So you're going head-to-head with Alan Terzic. What do you rate your chances?
We'll see. I mean, it will be difficult. He's a fast driver and he's got the pole, so it will be difficult. But with the slipstream and so on, it can be anyone. So I just gotta get a clean start and hopefully I can jump him and keep the position. But I mean, like I say, you never know on this track, especially.
Well, you've been one of our most consistent drivers so far with a P1, P2, and P3. So good luck for your qualifying.
Thank you.
So we meet again.
Yes.
Good luck.
Good luck, mate.
Is it just me, or is Alan Terzic a scary-looking individual? Right, Alan Terzic then, pole position. Alongside him is Martin Stefanko. 5.793 kilometres of tarmac await here at this wonderful Monza circuit, which is where we are for this RCCO World EX Championship round. And here come the klaxons. Any moment now. As the driver's being held, well, we didn't hear the klaxons, it matters not. Martin Stefanko and Alan Terzic then, side by side, will head into the first chicane. So Alan Terzic with his nose ahead of Martin Stefanko. Stefanko now will aim for picking up the draft off of Alan Terzic. Alan Terzic will try and get far enough away to prevent that from happening, of course. And there he is, Alan Terzic, as we go picture in picture so that you can see just how hard and how concentrated Alan Terzic is. Look at the speed that Martin Stefanko is carrying here. Wow. Into the Variante della Rosia then. And Alan Terzic leading Martin Stefanko. Half a second between them. Brilliant driving that we've seen so far in these qualifying races. Our two esports stars here, head-to-head, Terzic, Stefanko. Stefanko, of course, already through to that glittering finale. Alan Terzic then has been denied thus far. Will it all change today? So Martin Stefanko doing his level best to try and keep on terms with Alan Terzic, and of course through the Ascari. Try and get the benefit of this long straight then. And you can see weaving from side to side, Alan Terzic very cleverly trying to break the draft that is available to Martin Stefanko into the parabolic, and now they go. And Alan Terzic, I think he has probably done enough. Martin Stefanko trying to get a slingshot around the outside, but I think it's as good as done,
GG.
or is it as they get ever
Always
so close?
a pleasure racing you.
Wow. Alan Terzic then offering his congratulations to Martin Stefanko, but of course, Alan very relieved that he has.
Yeah, I knew it would be just about at turn one, and that's it.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I mean, I couldn't do anything there.
Yeah.
All right. Best of luck, mate.
Well, nice camaraderie between the two of them. It's all about the chewing gum, you know, for Alan Terzic for BS Plus competition. He takes a P1, therefore straight through to level 3. Martin Stefanko for Williams Esports will be through to level 2. He takes a P2 in our qualifying 4 race. And qualifying 5 is on its way, and two hard-hitting pro racing drivers will go head-to-head in just a few moments' time. I'm not going to spoil the surprise. You've already seen it in graphics, and Nicki, of course, will be talking to Mr. B. Senna and Mr. D. Vantor in just moments from now.
I will indeed. And Bruno Senna is there with us now. How are you, Bruno? After last time's race win, have you recovered from the celebrations? Now, I can't hear you at the moment. I'm not quite sure if that's something on your side or on our side. Give us a sec. Try. There we are. Now I can hear you loud and clear.
Apologies. Yeah. Too many celebrations. I'm still having the effects of it. Sorry.
Still drunk, are you? Oh no. Does that make you a better esports driver?
Well, we'll find out soon enough, aren't we?
No, it was a great race though. You really put in a brilliant performance. So good luck for today. Hopefully we'll see a repeat of that.
Thank you very much.
Right, let's go across to Dries Van Tor, who will be going head to head against Bruno Senna for the team WRT. Dries, we saw a phenomenal performance from Bruno last time out. Can you compete against him?
I'll try my best. I mean, I've heard he won the last race, so yeah, it's not going to be easy, I guess, but let's try it. Let's see.
Who do you think your biggest competition is here today? Because obviously you've got to secure your place in that grand finale. That's what you got to do. You got to win today to get yourself in the finale on the 23rd of November. Who's going to get in your way?
Well, for sure, Bruno. That's one of them, and I think a lot of the esports guys for sure will be there. It's going to be it's an interesting track with the draft with the slipstream, so I think it can be anyone. So it's Flasse is always there, and then the usual esports guys.
Yeah, it is getting particularly tough now, isn't it? The competition seems to be getting closer and closer. But good luck for the race.
Have a good one, mate.
Have a good one.
And away we go then, Dries Van Tor
honestly
for
almost missed the start.
WRT.
I was still on the menu.
You keep talking to us.
Dries! Oh no! Well, that played nicely into the hands of Bruno Senna, didn't it? As Dries.
And he keeps talking to us. Doesn't help, does it?
Yeah, no. I was thinking that the race was still. Oh well, that we still needed to go to the grid, but well, luckily I made the start.
Well, yes, you did, and then made a Horlicks for the first turn, Dries. Goodness. Right, Bruno Senna is leading then. Dries Van Tor's kicking up some dust, and now he can fully concentrate now that half the lap is done. So the klaxons would go in, and Dries Van Tor was still talking. Oh, wonderful stuff. So Bruno Senna leading by almost a second over Dries Van Tor.
Slipstream there does a lot, huh?
Yeah, it's very powerful. I'm lucky that you're not too close to me now.
Come on, late break, Dries. Late break. Come on, you need to get closer to Bruno and be able to get advantage of that slipstream. And then we'll have a fantastic fight around the parabolica.
I think it will be just too far.
Well, just making sure that you're not going to try a big dive bomb anyway.
All the way around the outside, Dries Van Tor. Bruno Senna though with the inside the line.
Well,
good one.
Sorry, Dries.
Nice one.
Nice one, mate.
I can't do the first lap properly. I like the first braking, no matter where we go, if it's now this track or the next or another one. Like some of I think your teammate he can brake so late at the first lap, and I have no clue how.
Man, I don't know. Some people brake minimum 10 meters later than me everywhere. I don't even know how they do it.
It's crazy, but yeah.
Well, don't worry. There's another chance, and we can. I'm sure we're gonna find ourselves racing again in a couple of races' time.
Yeah, well, let's hope. Let's hope we can make some nice racing. It would be nice.
For sure, man.
They are two absolutely wonderful pro drivers, Dries Van Tor and Bruno Senna. Forgive me for giggling, but Dries Van Tor, he takes P2, therefore he's got to do it all over again in level 2, but Bruno Senna goes through to level 3, having taken the victory in Quali 5 for Williams Esports, up against Dries Van Tor for Esports Team WRT. Sorry, Nicki, I came over all peculiar and laughed a lot during that one.
Oops, I'm feeling slightly responsible.
I think actually Bruno Dries did blame you, in fairness. But I will cast no aspersions, of course.
Yeah, I'm just glad. I think maybe it was my fault that he wasn't paying attention at the start of the race, but then I think he maybe messed up the first turn. Apologies, Dries. Okay, so I think we are going to have a quick catch up with the drivers in qualifying race 6. We've got Risto Capet and Michi Hoyer for Absolute Racing. Let's have a quick catch up with Michi Hoyer. Michi, can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, I can.
Wonderful, brilliant. So we just had a pretty fun race between Dries van Thorp and Bruno Senna. What can we expect between you and Risto Capet? Now, Risto, of course, has already secured himself a position in that grand final. So there's a lot more at stake for you in this qualifying race.
Yeah, sure, but I'm really sure that Risto won't make it easy for me either way. Like, if you can get a second win in, that means one driver less to worry about for the super final in the end. So you can still maximize your chances by winning each and every round. So it will be hard, and I will try my best to beat him.
That is a very good point, Michi. I hadn't thought about that, actually. You're right. If you win again, of course, that just stops another driver getting through into that grand finale. So, well, I'm sure the competition will be tough. So I wish you all the best of luck for this qualifying race. Risto Capet, welcome back, racing for RCCO Esports, as always. This is going to be a pretty tight head-to-head, isn't it? Because you and Michi Hoyer are great competitors.
Yep, I agree, and yeah, with this track, this draft, it can be anyone's game. So gonna be close, and especially close if it's two close drivers. So yeah, no idea what's gonna happen.
All right, well, best of luck for the race.
Thank you.
We're standing by then. Michi Hoyer and Risto Capet going head-to-head in our next qualifying race here at Monza, and the cars making their way onto the grid.
Let's make a safety car formation then.
Copy, we are looking.
So there they are, side by side then, Capet with the pole position and Michi Hoyer on the outside. We're standing by. We are just a few seconds away from the klaxons sounding, or maybe not sounding, for the start of this qualifying race in level 1. So two absolute esports stars going head-to-head then, and they are absolutely side by side with barely a millimetre between them as they head into turn number 1 then. Oh, a little bit of a sideways moment for Michi Hoyer. Risto Capet carrying just a little bit more speed, but now Michi Hoyer is able to close the door on Risto Capet. So Michi Hoyer goes through into the lead. P1 for Michi Hoyer. It's P2 for Risto Capet, though, around the Curva Grande. He's coming back. So again, side by side. Oh, and a little bit of paint trading. Michi Hoyer having to use opposite lock to try and control the car. Yes. And now that plays into the hands of Risto Capet. And apologies for any loud and hard language from our drivers who are trying really, really hard here. Risto Capet now P1. Michi Hoyer has got to come back at him. So down on the throttle then, these incredible, powerful cars. 1000 HP available in these EX0s then. And Michi Hoyer trying to use every single one of those HPs. So great to watch the braking manoeuvres here. Another bit of paint is traded between the two of them. It's all firm, fraught, but absolutely fair. Now, this is where Michi Hoyer will try and get the benefit then of the draft and this slipstream effect that has been talked about so much here at Monza. So Risto Capet then with that P1 position. Michi Hoyer trying to do everything he can. You can see just how hard he is concentrating.
The lap time won't be too good though.
No, P8.
We will meet again. Was close.
Yeah.
I can sense the frustration.
You could broke so much late in turn 4. It was ridiculous. Like, I even released my brakes a bit, and then I locked up.
Yeah. I was on the limit. Yeah, you braked a bit early, but yeah. If you had saved it, the sideways moment, you maybe would have stayed ahead. Next time you will save it.
Potentially.
There we have it. Thank you to Michi Hoyer and thank you to Risto Capet then. Confirmation of the results for RCCO Esports then. Risto Capet goes through to level 3. Michi Hoyer will go again in level 2 for absolute racing. So that was our qualifying 6, and I'm pretty sure that lined up now to talk to Nicki Shields is Nicholas Hillerbrand. Stand by.
Absolutely. So Nicholas is stepping in for Frank Bieler for the Bieler Racing Team Euronics. Nicholas, welcome aboard. How's the prep been going ahead of today's race?
Thank you very much. I didn't have too much preparation time and stuff because last weekend also very busy with some esports events and stuff. But car's very lovely. It's a lot of fun racing this, and yeah, let's see how I fare against Nico.
Have you ever raced against Nico Mueller before in the real or virtual world?
No, so that's going to be interesting.
All right. Well, good luck for your first qualifying. Quick word with you, Nico. So you're going up against Nicholas Hilbrand, who hasn't had a huge amount of experience. So hopefully you can take advantage of that.
Well, I don't feel like I've got much experience. It's actually only my second race, but yeah, let's see. I think we'll have fun. Sounds like he's a very experienced esports racer as well, if he has been busy last weekend with that. So I expect a challenge, but I'm looking forward to that one.
All right. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you. Have fun, man.
So for
yeah, same to you.
Nice gestures from both of the drivers then ahead of the start of this qualifying 7 race. The pro drivers, Nico Mueller up against Nicholas Hilbrand. Then it's Nianco ESports up against Bilster Racing Team Euronics. Standing by for the klaxons then, Mueller, pole position. All held for quite some time on the final klaxon, and the cars get going now. Nico Mueller on the inside and Nicholas Hilbrand on the outside here. Outside, of course, very quickly becomes the inside. So side by side they go then. Nico Mueller then, he does manage to go through turn number 1. Nicholas Hilbrand now is going to put the chase on as they head towards the Curva Grande. And this, the Monza circuit then, 4 left-handers, 7 right-handers, each and every one of them a real challenge, and some great straights where you can really get the benefit of the slipstream effect. And a little bit of contact there between Nicholas Hilbrand and Nico Mueller. No places changed though, so no advantage taken by Nicholas Hilbrand. And it is still Nico Mueller P1, Hilbrand is P2, barely 4 tenths between the two of them. And that means that now they have got going again once they're trading not only paint but panels as well. Here you can see Nicholas Hilbrand really using the advantage of that slipstream. He gets to the outside of Nico Mueller. Nico squeezes. Hilbrand is on the grass, on the gravel, across the curbs. And Nico Mueller then, well, he certainly closed the door, and you can see how difficult it is to control this car once you're back out onto the track. And now the margin, well, it was but 3 tenths. It's now 5 seconds because contact between the two of them. And Nico Mueller then will cross the timing line with relative ease and take
Did we touch down
P1.
the brake?
And
yeah, I think so.
P2.
Sorry about that then, I don't know.
All good, Dory. Happens.
All good.
Just doing some
celebration donuts.
Sorry?
The rear wing's gone, so I'm just doing pirouettes before I cross the line.
There we go. All for show.
We love it. Just keep on entertaining. Keep on with the show. P1, Nico Mueller. P2, Nicholas Hilbrand then. 2 great pro races together there. And it's unbelievably, qualifying 7 already is done and dusted. Up next, it will be qualifying 8, of course, but we will get confirmation of the result then. No, not that there was any need for confirmation, really. It was Nico Mueller who takes P1. He's straight through to level 3 for Nianco ESports, Nico and Co ESports. And then Nicholas Hilbrand for Bilster Racing Team Euronics in for Frank Bilster for this event. He will have to do it all over again in level 2 because he takes P2. Up next, Emily Jones and Fabrice Cornelis. And of course, Nicki Shields.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we're going to have a quick chat to those 2 drivers who are heading into qualifying 8. But it just shows how difficult it is entering this series, doesn't it? A very tricky qualifying race there, wasn't it? For poor old Nicholas Hilbrand. Okay, so now we're going to go to Emily Jones, our wildcard from Australia. Emily, how are you?
I'm doing okay. It's very early in the morning, so I'm just waking up.
How
but
early?
otherwise
Go on,
I'm
tell us.
doing good.
What time is it? What
It's
time
6
is it on your
a.m.
watch?
at the moment. Yeah,
Oh, lovely.
6 a.m.
Oh, how good. I hope you've had lots of coffee.
Not yet. I'm preparing to go back to sleep. I'm doing the in the middle of the night thing, but yeah, we'll see.
Oh, brilliant. Wonderful. How's preparation been going for this race at Monza?
Yeah, it's been fun. I reinstalled R Factor yesterday, so just learning how to play the game again. I'm normally an iRacing driver, so this is a little bit different, but it's been a lot of fun. This car's kind of crazy, so should be fun.
Excellent. Well, hopefully you step up to the challenge. Good luck. Thanks, Emily.
Thanks.
Let's have a catch up with Fabrice Cornelis, who'll be going head to head with Emily for WRT. Fabrice, you're going head to head against our wildcard, Emily Jones. Does that give you a bit of an advantage?
Yeah, I don't know. I know her from iRacing. We're both iRacing drivers, so it'll be interesting to both drive this simulator.
You've probably got a little bit more experience, though.
Yeah, okay. A little bit more.
All right, we'll let you get on with your qualifying. Thanks.
So thank you to Fabrice Cornelis and also to Emily Jones then, our Australian wildcard, doing it at 6 a.m. in the morning. No time for text messaging, Fabrice. Come on, concentrate on the game, friend. This is going to be qualifying 8. Our esports drivers then. Esports team WRT for Fabrice Cornelis, and of course our wildcard racer is Emily Jones. We're standing by the cars and the drivers are making their way to the grid, and our qualifying 8 esports session is about to get underway. It's a short, sharp one lap. Then the drivers have to contest across this Monza circuit. So there you can see Fabrice Cornelis P2, Emily Jones P1. Well, Fabrice, forever the gentleman, offering Emily good luck, and we are but seconds away from the start klaxon sounding here at Monza. Good start from Fabrice Cornelis. Got the momentum there for sure. And now he closes the door on Emily Jones. Emily Jones switches to the outside, which of course would soon become the inside, but cold breaks. And Fabrice Cornelis just across the rumble strips. They're quite high curves here at Monza, you know. And Fabrice, though, using those curbs and didn't do any damage whatsoever, but Emily Jones is not letting Fabrice Cornelis get away with this around the curve of Grande, right on the back of Fabrice Cornelis. So, whilst he may have got a very, very good start, this is not all over by a long shot yet, because Emily Jones has got the bit between her teeth. It may be a ridiculous hour in Australia, but by Gemini, she is fighting here. So Fabrice Cornelis then, you can see how difficult it is to control these cars, these wonderful EX0 cars. And there is Emily Jones, complete and total focus and concentration. She tries to reel in Fabrice Cornelis on the end of the fishing rod, metaphorically, through this fantastic Ascari then. And now this is where Emily Jones could get the benefit of the slipstream if she can get close enough to Fabrice Cornelis. They are just under 2-3 tenths apart. So Emily Jones now, of course, it's all very well being as quick as the car in front and being right on the car in front. You've got to find a way by. And unfortunately for Emily Jones, she's not going to be able to do this. And it is going to be Fabrice Cornelis that takes the victory. And as they congratulate each other, they were so close. You can see there just 1.5 tenths between P1 and P2. Fabrice Cornelis takes victory over Emily Jones then. So the esports team WRT against the wildcard driver Emily Jones then. And there you can see Fabrice Cornelis. Confirmation then that he goes through to level 3. And Emily Jones we'll see again in level 2. As the esports wildcard driver. That is your result for level 1 qualifying 8.
All right, well, now let's go down to our drivers for qualifying 9 and hear from Bilster, who, of course, races for the W Series in the real world, but is racing for BS Plus competition in this race weekend. Bilster, talk us through the preparation for Monza.
Many laps as I could, and yeah, I think slipstream is quite important here, so yeah, you just have to position yourself well, I guess.
And how have you found being part of this competition so far?
It's been cool. It's been very different racing against sim races and real races at the same time. So yeah, it's cool.
Good. That's what we like to hear. Well, let's hear from your competitor, I should say, Henry Drury, racing for Patrick Long Esports. Henry, you're going up against Bites Gavissa. Watch out.
Yeah, I have fond memories of being knocked out by Bitska at Estoril, so we'll see what happens.
You must have learned something from that. Come back fighting stronger.
I'm searching my brain trying to remember what I learned, so I better remember quickly.
Brilliant. All right, good luck, guys.
We'll have
catch up
some fun and
later.
see what happens.
All right,
Thank
good
you.
luck.
So then the cars
So just
are
out
on
of
the grid.
curiosity, Biscuit, how much do I have to pay you to let me win this one?
Oh, Henry, that's brave.
I'm not
very
going to
brave.
answer that.
Ah, okay.
So
if I just drop a load of
that-
unmarked bills off at an unnamed address and send you the link, does that work?
Yes, uncharted brown envelopes. Yes, that'll do the trick then. So Henry Drury and Bites Gavissa get going then on this one-lap qualifying race. So Bites Gavissa and Henry Drury side by side as they head into turn number 1. And Henry Drury, whoa, he's just got his nose in front and both of them run off the track. Henry then across the grass getting all locked up there and back
That
onto
didn't
the
go too well
tarmac.
for either of us.
Yeah, not ideal.
It was all the talk of the cash, you know. And Bites Gavissa leading Henry Drury now then as both of them kind of shortcutted the first turn, but they've got it both cars back onto the tarmac now and onto the track proper. So Bites Gavissa leading Henry Drury by just on a second here as Henry Drury fights back. You can see Bites Gavissa really concentrating really hard here. Of course, Bites Gavissa for the BS Plus competition outfit, and Henry Drury racing for Patrick Long Esports. So 1.2 seconds between P1 and P2 at the moment. And Bites Gavissa now has got it all perfectly under control through the Ascari chicane, then turns 8, 9, and 10. And onto the straight that runs behind the paddock here at Monza. And with a second's worth of margin over Henry Drury, no opportunity for Henry Drury to be able to take advantage of the slipstream effect from the back of Bites Gavissa's car. So it is Bites Gavissa that is going to take the checkered flag. She wins that qualifying race ahead of Henry Drury. So all the offers of the unmarked bills Bitesky didn't really help because she won it and won it fair and square with no brown envelopes stuffed with
That's
various
maybe not
goodies
the
from
breaking
Henry Drury.
for the next race.
So cars on their slow down lap then as we take a look at confirmation of the results then, and Bites Gavissa then for BS Plus competition straight through to level 3 and Henry Drury for Patrick Long Esports level 2. Let's hear from Nicki Shields but also from Mike Rockenfeller, both drivers going off at turn number 1. Mike.
Well, yeah, to be honest, I didn't see it completely because I had some technical issues here on my rig to solve, but the drivers were not complaining. But of course, Henry was already mentioning it, that there could be some tension, and it looked like I just saw the end of it. They both didn't make it, but we saw only one, let's say, incident or two in the first round, so I'm quite happy. I think the drivers behaved really well. I think one of the most fair race was also the one with Emily. She's awake since quite some time, so I think she did really well. And yeah, we saw good racing, and there's still a second chance, so no big thing.
Well, exactly. We've also still got one more qualifying race to go. So let's see if the racing is fair in this one. We've got Liam Duval going up against Luca Kita. Liam Duval.
Hello.
Hello. So you're our qualifying 10th race of the day. So have you got a bit of experience now seeing how everyone else has performed?
I think the question was, do you want to be ahead or do you want to be behind? Like at the halfway point. So I guess I got the answer now, and let's see if I can put it into practice.
Brilliant. All right. Well, good luck. Let's catch up with Luca Kita, who is your competitor for this qualifying race. Right, Luca Kita. What's the key to winning this race against Liam Duval? Perhaps Luca is so focused on his preparation. Luca, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. What's the key to success against beating Liam Duval in this qualifying?
I think it's really hard to say on this track. I mean, the slipstream is really big, and I mean, you can lose the start, but could be first after first chicane. So I think pace is not the topic here. You need to stay in the slipstream and drive focus to the finish.
Well, good luck in your start of the race.
So Liam Duval and
good luck, man.
Luca Kita there.
Good luck.
Offering good luck to each of the drivers. Always nice to see that camaraderie, and we are but a few seconds away from the start klaxon. Here we go then with our final Q race. So Liam Duval on the inside line. Luca Kita just got his nose in front here, and a brilliant overhead shot that we were able to bring you there. Luca Kita up against Liam Duval then as they head into turn number 1. Bear in mind, brakes are cold, and the cars are absolutely clean and tidy actually through there. And Luca Kita then with his nose in front of Liam Duval now. But Liam Duval, of course, going to get the benefit of slipstream. The Curva Grande is where the cars are now. And Liam Duval to the inside of Luca Kita now. But carrying so much speed, he locks up the tyres. And just a little nerve there from Luca Kita, who did apologise immediately. And it is now Luca Kita ahead of Liam Duval. Brilliant to watch this. This is a really, really close one that we're enjoying here with the Bila Racing Team Euronics driver Luca Kita heading up Patrick Long ESports Liam Duval then as they cross under the bridge there, you can see. And now heavy braking once again, trying to avoid contact. The cars are so close together through this Ascari turn and onto the back straight here. And you can see that Liam Duval trying to get a little bit of a slingshot off the runoff area there. But the gap of just under 6/10 between Luca Kita and Liam Duval should prevent Liam having any benefit of the slipstream. Quite a wide line taken by Luca Kita there as they head towards the timing line. It is P1 for Luca Kita.
Yep, well raced.
And P2, Liam Duval.
Sorry for the 7-second chicane. That's all I could make the switch back.
No worries, man. I remember I crushed you out in like one of the previous races, so this is payback, don't worry. I'm happy you won. You're way quicker, so deserved.
Yeah, thanks.
So that was really nice. Once again, good wishes from both of the drivers. Luca Kita then for Bila Racing Team Euronics. He goes directly through to level 3. P2, Liam Duval, Patrick Long ESports. He's going to do it all over again in level 2. As we go back to Nicki Shields now. Qualifying has been really, really exciting, Nicki.
It has indeed, and I love that your relationship. You know, the sort of the competitiveness, but the sportsmanship between Liam Duval and Luca Kita there, sort of congratulating one another. Brilliant to see, just brilliant. It's been some really, really good racing. So that is it. We have had our 10 qualifying 1-lap races. So now we know the 10 drivers who are going to go into level 2 and they're going to fight it out for the last chance. And then, of course, we've got the other drivers who've just won. They will go straight through to level 3. Let's take a look at those drivers. Level 1 winners there. Esports driver Alan Terzic. Pro driver Lasse Sorensen again has made it through. Bruno Senna, last time's winner. Mike Skavissa, Lasse back. Luca Kita, Mike Rockenfeller. Well done, Mike. Fabrice Cornelius, Risa Capet, and Nico Mueller. They are the top 10 drivers who have made it through, straight through to level 3. Now, the level 1 losers. We've got Martin Stefanko there for William Esports, Yiffy Ye, Dries Van Tor, Gordon Much, Thomas Schmidt, Emily Jones, the wild card from Australia who tuned in at 6 a.m, Liam Duval, Mickey Hoyer, Henry Drury, and Nicholas Hilbrand. Now, all is not lost because they will all go straight through to level 2. for fighting it out in that last chance battle. Right, so there we have it. Don't go anywhere because level 1 qualifying may be over, but we have a lot more racing still to go. Coming up next is our race program, literally in a couple of minutes' time. Quickly, go and have another coffee, and we'll be back soon to kick off level 2. See you shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host of the Racing for the Climate broadcast show, Nicki Shields.
Hello and welcome back to our race program. This is Racing for the Climate, and tonight we are going to be racing at the EX Prix of Italy in Monza, one of the ultimate tracks. The EX0 car, all electric car, I should say, has managed to go at speeds of up to 350 kilometers per hour. It's been phenomenal to watch. Hopefully you did already join us for qualifying. If not, welcome. But level 1 qualifying has already been completed. Now we're moving on to level 2. This is the last chance race. This is the time where the drivers will have the opportunity to hopefully secure their spots in level 3. But look at the level 1 winners there. Alan Terzic, Lasse Sorensen, Bruno Senna, Beitske Visser, Lasse Back, Luca Kita, Mike Rockenfeller, our very own Mike Rockenfeller, Fabrice Cornelis, Risa Capet, and Nico Mueller. They are the drivers who won their qualifying race and will be going straight through to level 3. Now, these are the drivers who had a bit of a tough battle on their hands today so far in Monza, but all is not lost because they do have a second chance. Martin Stefanko, Yiffy Ye, Dries Van Thor, Gordon Much, Thomas Schmidt, Emily Jones, Liam Duval, Mickey Hoyer, Henry Drury, and Nicholas Hilbrand. They are the 10 drivers who are now going through to level 2 to battle it out in the last chance race to try and secure themselves a position in level 3.
Level 2, the last chance. Is the grid for our last chance race. On row 1 then it is Martin Stefanko up against Yiffy Ye. Row 2 sees Thomas Schmidt and Dries Van Thor. Then on row 3 of the grid it is Emily Jones and Gordon Much. This last chance grid is littered with talent. Just the first 3 rows that we've done so far. As we continue to scroll through the grid then we have Liam Duval up against Henry Drury. Then it's Mickey Hoyer and Nicholas Hilbrand on the 5th row of the grid. It's very busy. It is the last chance, and it is one of the most entertaining races ordinarily that we see in the RCCO World EX Championship. This is the last chance race then to get those drivers through to level 3. There is Yiffy Ye. Concentrating and focusing hard then as the cars will be making their way to the grid. This is the final opportunity then for these drivers to go through to that level 3 place, and of course they desperately want to do that. So Yiffy Ye is just one of those drivers. So relaxing now, just a little yawn and a little fluid taken on board ahead of this race. So the RCCO World EX Championship, we're here at Monza, then 5.793 kilometers of tarmac, 4 left-hand turns, 7 right-hand turns. And of course, the benefit, as all the drivers have seen and have mentioned, the benefit that you can get off the slipstream is enormous here at Monza. So cars lining up on the grid, as you can see, and this is going to be very, very entertaining indeed. The level 2 race, and we are a few seconds away from the start. Ye from Vantor, from Schmidt, Much, Jones.
I mean, in my round 1, I already tried to activate DRS, even though this car doesn't really have DRS, so...
Just let me know who you want to be. I'll shove you over some sausage curbs.
I want to be on top.
Oh. We're getting frisky.
Well, great banter going on then at the start of the race. And Martin Stefanko then and Yiffy Ye and Dries Van Thor. And look at this, into the funnel, the pinch point here of turn number 1. If all the cars get through this, still pointing in the same direction, I will be amazed, but they do so. So fantastic stuff then as Martin Stefanko leads Yiffy Ye. Dries Van Thor is P3. Then it's Thomas Schmidt and Henry Drury ahead of Gordon Much as they go now into the Variante della Roggia, the turns 4 and 5, kicking up dust. All these cars so close together. The big beneficiary here is Martin Stefanko. Of course, he can just focus and concentrate on every turn ahead of him, as the rest of them are all fighting over the remaining places as well. But Stefanko has already built something of a margin of 8 tenths, and here comes Dries Van Thor taking a look at the inside of Yiffy Ye. But of course, he doesn't want to leave himself vulnerable to Thomas Schmidt, who is right behind him, and then Gordon Much and Liam Duval. And wow,
so much bloody tyre smoke going into the braking zone.
Side by side, and Dries Van Thor goes up to P2. So brilliant driving from Dries Van Thor. You could see Schmidt was having a look as well as they head into the Parabolica.
Yeah, that might be me, mate.
3 laps.
Can't see anything going into Ascari.
So Henry Drury is as entertaining on the microphone as he is in driving as well. This onboard shot is fantastic and gives you just some example of the speed that they carry as Yiffy Ye comes back on Dries Van Thor here. And surely he's done it. He has. He wrestles back that P2 place. And all of this could play into the hands of Schmidt, who's just waiting like a viper, ready to on the 2 as they fight ahead of him. So the battle for P2, which is going on, could play into the hands of Schmidt, and also maybe Gordon Much, who's right alongside Schmidt now. Three
hello?
abreast.
Oh.
No. Into the barriers. Much in all sorts of
I
strife.
don't know what
He's
you're doing,
sideways
but,
across the grass. And Martin Stefanko, of course, is just up the road now.
God, you're really
So
not
it
having
is,
fun with this part of the track, are you?
Emily Jones in P5. And we love this split shot here, carrying so much speed into this chicane. Thomas Schmidt ahead, then it's Dries Vantor. Dries Vantor running in P3. Take the runoff area, get a bit of slingshot here, come on.
Liam,
So
you know the track's over to
Stefanko
the
leading.
left, right?
Yeah, I got a lot of damage.
Oh, Gordon Much out. Henry Drury in that P9 position. You could hear from him there.
I got pushed into the
we
wall.
put another lap in the book then, as I'm trying to dip in and out of the drivers entertaining team.
Oh, God.
Oh, Drury, 3 abreast, then right at the back. Whoa. Liam DeVall and Hillebrand and Drury all together there.
See, you got to be Verstappen.
Yeah, true.
Sorry, mate. I didn't mean to. I genuinely didn't see you there.
No, that's fine.
What an entertainer. Absolutely fantastic. Right, P2, P3 and P4 still really very much up for grabs here. Yifi Yi holding on to that P2 at the moment. Dries Vantor is doing the chasing though, but he's got Thomas Schmidt and Emily Jones right behind as well. So as Dries Vantor is just thinking about defending from Schmidt, of course,
So it would be nice if
into the
Richardson
hands
could
of
check
Yifi Yi.
what happened in lap 2 there, but for the result, I guess.
So there is Yufi Yu there, and you can see him split screen as we do picture-in-picture then, as he's hard working.
I'm sorry.
Here comes
I know
Dries
it's not my
Vantor.
fault, but I feel guilty.
Here's Vantor. Going to get the
Liam's
benefit of the
just
slip screen
apologising
here.
from 100 minutes.
Likes to look to the inside. And Schmidt also trying to get the benefit of this as well.
Sorry, can I crash you out so I get a yellow card? And then they're all gone.
Do not want this race to be over. Absolutely fantastic. Level 2 race then in the RCCO World EX Championship. Martin Stefanko, what a star you are. 2.853 seconds of margin. Stefanko P1, Yifi Yi P2. Ahead of Dries Vantor, then it was Thomas Schmidt, Emily Jones, Mickey Hoyer, who we heard little from actually.
Who finished where then?
Let's get confirmation of the result then. Those last chance races always so entertaining, short, sharp, and of course those that are through. Martin Stefanko, Yifi Yi, Dries Vantor, Thomas Schmidt, and Emily Jones. P6 for Mickey Hoyer, P7 Liam DeVall, P8 for Henry Drury, P9 for Nicholas Hillebrand, and Gordon Much, of course, didn't make it. Let's hear from Martin Stefanko, victorious. He's with Nicki Shields.
Welcome back to Formula Drift.
Martin, congratulations. That was a rather intense battle there, but you managed to have a relatively clean one compared to everyone else. Well done.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I knew that getting past Yifi at the start was going to be crucial. I managed to do that, and after that, it was just about creating a small gap so that nobody could attack, and then just do my own thing. And yeah, I managed to do just that. So really happy it worked out, and now through to the quarterfinals where it's going to be a bit more difficult. But yeah, happy so far.
Are you surprised though at the level of the competition? It's so incredibly close, even from the level 1 stages.
To be fair, I kind of expected it on this track because, I mean, compared to some other track, the track is not that technical. It's full of straights, so naturally the gaps are going to be really close between all the drivers. So, I kind of expected it. I think anyone can win here really, and with all the slipstream and just the track characteristics and so on, and with how close it is. So, yeah, we'll see. Obviously, I'll take it race by race and see get. Maybe if I get lucky, maybe I can get far and maybe fight for a win again. But it's going to be difficult.
All right, Martin. Well, pleasure to talk to you. Well done, and we'll see you in the next round.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so we are now going to do a bit of a chat about Michi Hoyer, who unfortunately has not qualified into the next round today. But bearing in mind that 5 drivers have actually already qualified for that big finale on November the 23rd, which will be taking place at the Nürburgring Neuschleife. Now, Michi Hoyer has come very close on several occasions. Unfortunately, he finished second at Sepang, but he does have a relatively good chance of making it into the super final again. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen here today, but there are still a couple more opportunities. Let's take a closer look about the German racer who is competing for Absolute Racing in World EX.
Michael Hoyer is a top 10 contender in the RCCO World EX Championship. His racing career started with a passion, deeply rooted in German motorsport history.
My name is Michael, big German name, Michael Schumacher. My dad was an enthusiast, so we got into racing pretty early, 4 or 5 years. I was in front of the TV, and then it just goes from there. Like you get the first racing game, you love it. You get the second racing game, you love it, and you keep going afterwards.
A sim racing wheel and a demo of R Factor finally set the groundstones for his career in esports racing. 15 years later, he competes in several top-notch championships and was asked to join World EX.
There was Absolute Racing asking me whether I'd want to have a seat in that series, and I mean, it was a no-brainer, and immediately joined. Like, the sim racers we do have there is a selection of the top 20 of the world. So if you beat those guys, you're seriously skilled.
In World EX, Michi also gets the chance to compete against top-tier real-world racing drivers. Unfortunately, contact with racing legend Romain Grosjean in Spa ended his hopes for a good result.
It's interesting because as a sim racer, you don't usually race and compete against former Formula 1 drivers. So any occasion that somehow gets a little bit of, a little bit of a moment, a little bit of a touching point where you say, okay, no matter what happened, but hey, I had a moment together with a Formula 1 driver. I think that is the positive and the proud things to look on.
This is Level 3. And let's take a look at our grid then for our Level 3 Race 1. Row 1, Lasse Sorensen up against Bruno Senna. Row 2, it's Mike Rockenfeller and Beitski Visa. And then on row 3, it is Yifi Yi and Nico Mueller. So our pro drivers on this starting grid for Level 3 quarter-final. Rows 1, 2 and 3. And here comes row 4 to be revealed to you now. And Henry Drury, who's been something of an entertainer so far today, up against Dries Van Tor. They go from row 4 of the grid. So very much looking forward to this. And there is Lasse Sorensen.
Guys, have fun. Good luck, everybody.
Whether that's a permanent pose from Lasse or whether his screen had frozen just for a moment. All the cars are on the grid then and standing by for the start of this Level 3
Lasse,
race.
give us a chance.
I'll break myself in turn 1.
You just wait at the line and we'll do a lap and then you can go.
Henry Drury continuing to entertain then. As, Bruno Senna has got the centimetres over. Lasse Sorensen going into turn number 1, but once again, very, very difficult to make your way through this turn 1. And Mike Rockenfeller having to take to the rumble strips. And here comes Lasse Sorensen on the inside of Bruno Senna. Keep your eyes on Beitski Visser. Here could be the danger driver. Beitski Visser in P3 at the moment with Nico Mueller right behind as well. So Sorensen leading Bruno Senna at the moment, and they stay ahead of Visa.
Just seeing through the tyre smoke is so difficult.
And Dries Van Tor into into P4
Sorry, mate,
ahead
that
of
was on
Nico
me.
Mueller.
Wasn't expecting you to break that early.
Mike Rockenfeller and Henry Drury then making contact, and as you can see, Mike Rockenfeller having lost the rear wing, and there is Mike is going to have to really battle with that car now. The loss of that wing at the back is really going to play havoc. So it's P7 and P8 for Mike Rockenfeller and Henry Drury. Here is Lasse Sorensen leading, and Bruno Senna is P2. Bijski Visser P3. Bijski Visser under pressure now from Dries Van Tor for that P3 place. So into this turn they go. And there, the WRT racer then, Dries Van Tor all over the back of Bijski Visser. And there is Dries Van Tor. Harder work in the sim then as we put this lap in the book. Here comes Dries Van Tor trying to get advantage of the draft. Apologies for the swearing. As Dries Van Tor, Bijski Visser locks up. Lasse Sorensen and Bruno Senna still going ding-dong together. But Sorensen still ahead. And Van Tor has gone by Bijski Visser. And Nico Mueller could be in a position...
is annoying.
To maybe
the slipstream is annoying too.
Both of them. Here comes Bruno Senna on Lasse Sorensen. So Sorensen, this is as hard as he's had to work to try and stay in front here. Really big competition from Bruno Senna. And Dries Van Tor trying to join this party as well for P1, as is Bijski Visser breaking away a little bit from Nico Mueller. Then it's Yifi Yi, and Henry Drury, despite the contact with Mike Rockenfeller, is still going. Albeit he's running in P7. Talking of 7, Lasse Sorensen, driver number 7, car number 7, P1 from Bruno Senna, P2, Dries Van Tor, P3. Then it's Visser, Mueller, Yi, and Drury. And now, for the first real time, Sorensen is beginning to just open up a little bit of a gap, and you he was trying to break the slipstream there as Bijski Visser and Dries Van Tor side by side. And Bijski Visser on Dries Van Tor here as we start our final lap now here at Monza in this level 3 race. Dries Van Tor and Bijski Visser absolutely side by side. So too Nico Mueller and Yifi Yi. They trade a bit of paint. Bijski Visser locks up. Whoa, and Yifi Yi and Nico Mueller nearly not making the corner. But credit to them, they do, as Yifi Yi ahead of Nico Mueller then, who is in P6. And Bijski Visser and Dries Van Tor. Here comes Van Tor now. So Van Tor again. This is the outside line, though. It's not advantageous. And Bijski Visser is able to close the door on Dries Van Tor, who is going to have Yifi Yi for company as well. So he needs to get the attack done. He's running out of meters of tarmac to be able to do this here. So Sorensen, Senna, Visser, Van Tor. Those are the top 4.
Insane.
Yeah, it makes the mid corner really strange, man.
Here comes Dries Van Tor then to the outside of Bijski Visser as they head into this chicane. We'll try and get underneath Bijski Visser now. Not quite able to do it. Yifi Yi is just waiting to pounce. They make their way out of the Ascari. It's the final chance now along this back straight behind the paddock here at Monza. Dries Van Tor out of the slipstream then. And he could leave himself vulnerable to Yifi Yi here. Precisely what has happened. Oh no, there's contact. Yifi Yi is into the wall. Dries Van Tor goes rally crossing, and the big beneficiary is Nico Mueller.
Good race.
Wow.
I had a nice gap behind me, so I was pretty relaxed.
Lasse Sorensen from Bruno Senna and Bijski Visser and Nico Mueller and Dries Van Tor, Yifi Yi and Henry the Entertainer.
How was it, Nico? You love live?
Yeah, man. Just trying to not collect another yellow card, man. I'm good at that.
Well, 2 is red, you know?
Well, yeah. Trying to survive here. It's good fun. It's good fun. But,
yeah, it's good fun.
Just trying to stay out of trouble. I thought you had some action, I saw.
Yeah, but I made a mistake, and then I lost it again.
Well, the cars then on their slowing down lap. Please pass the throat lozenges. Lasse Sorensen Bruno Senna, P2 then, as Lasse Sorensen takes the win. From Beisky Visser, P3. Nico Mueller, P4. Dries Vantor, P5. Yifi Yi, P6. Critically, of course, they go through to level 4. Those that do not go through to level 4, Henry Drury and Mike Rockenfeller. So, Nicki is standing by to speak to Lasse Sorensen once again. He is victorious.
Indeed, Lasse Sorensen, I'm losing track on how many races you've won here. Well done. But Bruno Senna didn't make it easy for you on this occasion.
I was lucky for me at least that the dirty air was so big, but the slipstream is just impossible to get out of. So I think it was just about not getting him too close on the important parts of the track and just trying to get a good exit onto the straight lines. So I managed to do that, so I'm super happy for the win here.
Prediction, if you make it through to the final, who is going to be in the final with you? Which driver?
Hopefully Berg will be with me, so 2 Lasses in the final, so that would be amazing.
Nice, brilliant. Thanks very much. Well done, Lasse Sorensen.
All right, let's get into our level 3 quarter final then for our esports drivers. It is Lasse Berg and Alan Terzic side by side on row 1. To row 2, it's Fabrice Cornelis and Luca Keita. They could be danger men from there, as could Martin Stefanko and Risto Capit, of course, from row 3 of the grid. This is the starting grid of our level 3 quarter final for our esports racers. So, we also have Schmidt and Jones, of course, which we didn't see in the graphics, but it matters not, because we're ready to go racing. And a good start from Lasse back on Alan Terzic there. So back immediately into the lead. Watch Fabrice Cornelis here fighting with Luca Keita and also Risto Capit. And Fabrice Cornelis, he could have P3 as they exit this turn. He gets a little bit sideways. He could be in P2 because he's right alongside Alan Terzic here. And all the way around this very long, sweeping Curva Grande. It is Lasse Berg then ahead of Alan Terzic. But Terzic really muscling his way through to pick up P1. Brilliant driving. And now here comes Lasse Berg then for TK9 E-Speed, and the top 4 are absolutely welded together. Alan Terzic, then Lasse Berg, then Luca Keita, then Fabrice Cornelis. So another 3-lap brilliant race in prospect as Lasse Berg on the inside, but of course it becomes the outside. But Lasse Berg and Alan Terzic, they're being very, very physical, and Alan Terzic in all sorts of strife. And there's problems there as well as Alan Terzic comes back out onto the track, collecting another car. Big problems for Alan Terzic then. And you can see how frustrated, how cross Alan Terzic is. And that means it's a DNF. And of course, he collected, I think it was Emily Jones as he came back onto the track. But still, the action is coming thick and fast with the 6 remaining drivers. Lasse Berg and Luca Keita and Risto Capit and Fabrice Cornelis and Schmidt and Stefanko all in the mix. This could still go anywhere. But is Lasse Sorensen's wish going to come true? He wanted to see Lasse Berg go through, and Lasse Berg currently is P1. He is leading this, but here comes Luca Keita. And Luca Keita means business here as they go side by side. Risto Capit has just been very, very sensible here and waiting to pick up the pieces if these two should go awry. And that probably also the case for Fabrice Cornelis also. And Schmidt and Stefanko still within shouting distance as well, particularly when the slipstream here is so strong. So Keita and Berg together here. Luca Keita using quite a bit of the curb there. And Lasse Berg all together a little bit smoother through the Ascari turns. And here they come. And here comes Luca Keita. Can he get to the inside of Lasse Berg? No, not quite, as the cars slide around this parabolica. Lasse Berg with 4/10 over Risto Capit, about the same over Luca Keita as well. So P1, P2 and P3 up for grabs. They almost go 3 abreast into the chicane. And Luca Kita, what a move if he can make this stick. It will be a brilliant overtake, and thus far he's been able to do it. But you just know that Lasseback is going to come back here. If he can get to the outside and he can hold that position, that will give him the inside line for the next turn. And sure enough, that's precisely what he's done. A little bit of a love tap from Luca Kita, which plays into the hands of Risto Capit, who almost gets to the inside of Luca Kita. This is a phenomenal level 3 race that we're enjoying here at Monza. The RCCO World EX Championship, some of the best racing you are likely to see between these fantastic esports.
For Lasse for pushing Alan off the track.
Well, I didn't quite catch all of that as Lasseback gets us sideways. So back, Kita, Capit, Cornelis, Schmidt and Stefanko. And here you can see the top 4. And even Stefanko and Schmidt are still going at it, hammer and tongs behind. And all the way around the outside, here comes Kita. But it's a long way around.
What?
And
What?
all of a sudden...
Okay.
Somebody manually restarted it seems.
I just overtake Lasse. What the hell?
Well, it's such a nice battle, Martin.
Anyway, that was intense. No time to breathe.
Yeah, mate, that was really good.
Martin, where were you? 6?
Sorry?
What position were you in before?
I was 6. I was fighting for P5.
Okay.
How many drivers is it they go through?
6.
6, okay.
So what is the result now?
Like, do we go again or what is going on?
I hope not. To be honest.
Well, behind the scenes, of course, the team are working extremely hard. And you can see Lasseback there. The mood lighting all of a sudden played more of an effect than we thought it would.
Team is away from the finish line.
An anticlimax.
You want to be in front of this microphone, friend. Whoa. That was one heck of a race, that's for sure. So as we can see, the picture-in-picture then as Lasseback then, like all the drivers here, is standing by as everything is reset. And that was an extraordinary race. The RCCO World EX Championship, as I said, some of the racing we have seen.
My server, my R factor crashed. And the server was showing the race as complete. So I clicked already on restart weekend, so it was my mistake. I apologize for that.
So that perhaps gives us a little bit of indication as to what has happened then. And so Lasseback then, who is very patient there in our picture-in-picture, as you can see. And Nicki Shields is going to help me out here because we have to sort out what has happened here. So, Nicki Shields, please reach to the next level for me.
So well, indeed. I'm glad I'm not now in Mike Rockenfeller's situation where they have to decide what they're going to do. But that is a shame that the game exited early, but I think we kind of know the result from that race. Now, obviously, once level 3 is officially completed, we move forward to level 4. But it's not just about reaching the next level in our RCCO World EX Championship, because, of course, it is far more than that, because this is all about fighting the next level in the climate crisis. We've mentioned it a couple of times already, but of course, switching to zero emission driving, well, it really, it's absolutely crucial. And I think, for the drivers and for the teams and for this championship, it's really important that they promote it, and it plays a very important role as future technology develops. And also we see the improvement of the mobility of tomorrow. Now, we've actually seen some really interesting presentations recently. It was the IAA Mobility at Munich very recently. Some amazing sort of concept cars launched and some road cars launched as well. And there was a fantastic world premiere during the DTM weekend at the Red Bull Ring. Let's take a look at some more.
Schaeffler stunned the racing world with another show run of the DTM electric prototype. The outing at the Red Bull Ring was very special, as no driver was on board of the 1200 HP electric car. DTM Trophy champion Tim Heinemann was remotely driving the car from a high-tech simulator 82 kilometers away in Graz. This was possible because the DTM electric car is fitted with Schaeffler Paravan's Space Drive steer-by-wire system. Quantron AG is set to launch its first own vehicle later this year. The 12-meter low-floor city bus will be offered in 2 versions. In the battery electric variant, the bus can be ordered as early as the end of 2021. The fuel cell version from spring 2022. Porsche has unveiled the Mission R project, which aims to bring real and virtual racing closer together. The monocoque of the fully electric racing car can also be used as an esports racing simulator. The Mission R gives a glimpse of electric customer racing. The concept car delivers up to 1,073 horsepower and has very similar dimensions and performances as the EX0. German startup ACM presented a unique concept car for urban mobility at the IAA Mobility in Munich. The ACM City 1 is a tiny electric vehicle with swappable batteries. The 3.6-meter short vehicle can quickly be converted to carry either up to 4 passengers besides the driver or loads of up to 1,450 litres in volume. Another star at the IAA Mobility in Munich was the ID Life, presented by Volkswagen. The concept car is the brand's version of next-generation, fully electric urban mobility, with many interesting new features and ideas. It provides a preview of an ID model in the small car segment that is set to be launched in 2025, priced at around €20,000. RCCO and Bilster Berg have teamed up to bring the stunning German racetrack to the digital world. Bilster Berg is a perfect fit to #Racing for the Climate, as the preservation of the native species richness of the region was a matter close to the heart of the project developers from the very beginning. Bilster Berg offers 100 hectares of ecological compensation areas for flora and fauna, which are home to 20 Galloway cattle, as well as numerous bats, frog species and dormice. A mapped orchid meadow is supported in pollination by 20 bee colonies. Bilster Berg relies 100% on ecological electricity, which is mainly generated from neighbouring wind turbines.
Yeah, the IAA was a very busy time indeed. Lots of cool launches there, particularly around the world of electrification. But let's catch up with Mike Rockenfeller. Mike, talk us through what happened with the Level 3 race there with the esports drivers and what's been the decision made.
Well, first of all, I would say we had unbelievable good racing. So it's even more a shame that we didn't finish the last corner due to let's say human error and some technical error at the same time. What we are doing here, it's very complicated. It's quite a complex setup, and this is the first time in the season we had such an issue, and we always continue to learn. And I think at the end of the day, it's a big shame for sure. But I think the last corner was not changing the whole race, so we take the result from the lap before. I think luckily, in a way, the last 2 were out. Unfortunately for them, I think when we talk about that, Alan Terzic and Lasse Bach, they were, I would say it was a bit borderline. Lasse got a yellow card. For me, it was a bit too much. He pushed him wide. I mean, Alan lost the car, which we know it's very easy on the gravel bed. Shame for Alan, because I think he's one of the best also in the field, and I hope he will win one round to make it to the super final. But like I said, this technical error just happened, and then we continue. And we continue, and that's all we can do. So we were busy, you can imagine, in race control and in the background how we do it. It's the first time, like I said, you don't have a plan for this really. and we take it as serious as we can, and I think it's fair for everybody if we take the last standing before the last corner.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, let's not forget, you've got you and the team behind it have got a huge amount of experience of doing this. So I'm sure that is exactly the right decision to be made. But a yellow card for Lasse back. Let's catch up with Lasse and see how he is feeling after what was quite a phenomenal race. Lasse, obviously the news that you've got a yellow card from the last race. What do you make of that?
I don't know. I think it's fine. It was a close situation between me and Alan. For me, I tried to give him as much space as I could. I tried to leave him the curb width on the outside, but it was really close, of course. And I'm totally fine with getting a yellow card. If that's what the race control feel, it's totally fine. But yeah, amazing start. I got an amazing start. It was really good. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that again. But yeah, it was fun racing.
Well, it's been brilliant watching it. But now it is time for us to carry on with level 4 racing.
It continues with level 4, the semi-final. Here comes the grid then for level 4, a semi-final. Our pro drivers then Bruno Senna and Lasse Sorensen side by side. Nico Mueller and Beitske Visser. And then it is Yifi Yi and Dries Vantor. This starting grid for our level 4 semi-final. As this is about to get underway on track here at Monza. Of course, it is the EXP of Italy. And there is Lasse Sorensen, the man to beat for TK9 E-Speed, of course. And there you can see, he always looks really rather grumpy just ahead of the start of the race. It's because he's so concentrated and so focused, and he's just so utterly determined to win every race that he goes into. So, cars on the grid then. Stand by. Lasse Sorensen, Beitske Visser, Nico Mueller, Dries Vantor, Yifi Yi. And they're adding into the mix, of course, is Bruno Senna.
To another fun race, gents, ladies.
Well, good morning, boys and girls.
Good luck.
Good one.
Held again. Let's go racing. 3 laps of hot rock to come here at Monza. So Senna and Sorensen side by side, hardly a centimetre given between the two of them as they just touch. Bruno Senna absolutely determined, but maybe not as determined as Lasse Sorensen, who goes through and picks up P1. So Sorensen from Senna. Then it is Nico Mueller P3 ahead of Beitske Visser P4. Dries Vantor P5, Yifi Yi P6, and here comes Bruno Senna then chasing down Lasse Sorensen. So the TK9 E-Speed driver. And there's a strife for Dries Vantor, was into the barriers. So we go back on board with Dries Vantor just to see him recovering then, but he's got a lot of time to make up. You can see how sideways he was there as he continues his quest to try and get on terms. So, of course, the big battle and the battle that is of focus to us is the top 3. Sorensen, Senna and Mueller then is the way it looks at the moment. And Lasse Sorensen, Bruno Senna and Nico Mueller, who we go on board with now. You can see how Senna and Sorensen have really broken away. Nico Mueller, picture in picture. Look at him. Hard on the brakes then. Tries to control the car around the parabolic here. Nico Mueller, top racing driver, heads towards the start-finish line then, trying to gain as much as he possibly can in terms of draft, which is exactly what Yifi Yi is doing with Beitske Visser just behind them. So Yifi Yi, is he going to be able to outbrake here? Beitske Visser, yes. So Yifi Yi goes through into P4, and he'll put the chase on now to Nico Mueller on board with Beitske Visser. So Sorensen leading by 3/10 over Senna, Mueller. Then it's Yi, Visser and Vantor. Here is Yifi Yi then, picture in picture. You can see him hard at work here. And on the inside, wow, Yifi Yi. And who was that? Was it Bruno Senna I saw? It was Bruno Senna in the gravel. So Bruno, what on earth went on there? Bruno Senna then is trying to recover now. He is ahead of Dries Vantor, but of course that means it's Lasse Sorensen, Nico Mueller and Yifi Yi, the top 3. So all change. You cannot take your eyes away from this action because it changes in a heartbeat. The Nianco eSports driver Nico Mueller is P2, but he is nearly 2 seconds behind Lasse Sorensen. Yiffy Yi is coming under some pressure now from Beitski Visa. And of course it is that P3 position which is absolutely critical. And Yiffy Yi then around the Parabolica holds on to this and keeps Beitski Visa at bay. Lasse Sorensen, his lead is 2 seconds over Nico Mueller. And here comes Beitski Visa and Yiffy Yi side by side into the first chicane. You can see the smoke there as Beitski Visa surely has done enough. Beitski Visa goes through to pick up that P3 place. Brilliant driving. Brilliant, firm, fair, fraught driving between these drivers. Yiffy Yi is certainly not going to take this lying down. And all they do just have a little touch there. And I think, oh, well, that was unfortunate as Yiffy Yi. And, wow, look at this. Dries Vanthoor has come through now. And Senna, unbelievably, is back to P3. What did I say? You cannot take your eyes away from this race for a moment. So Bruno Senna, unbelievably, is now P3, but Dries Vanthoor desperately wants that, and he is all over the back of the Bruno Senna car. Let's go on board with Dries Vanthoor then, chasing Bruno Senna. Come on, Dries, come on, Dries. He gets the benefit of the draft. Bruno Senna makes the car just a little bit wider than it needs to be, and that negates the advantage that Dries Vanthoor had as they run to the line. Lasse Sorensen from Nico Mueller and
bloody
Bruno
brakes,
Senna.
man. Locked the rears, spun on my own.
Absolutely
How many of the first
amazing
how many
race.
continue?
3, I think.
Oh, nice, lovely.
3.
Was it you behind me, Senna?
Yeah, I almost hit you and I locked the rears, and then I just went to the left on my own, man.
It's so
Ran out
hard
of
with
talent.
these cars.
Completely ran out of talent. What can you do?
Such a self-deprecating man is Bruno Senna. So,
Lasse, you just
the
win
top
too
three.
much, man.
I thought before the season that if you win a race, we should get, weight penalty, and I think they have to do something about that.
You're self-penalizing, are you?
Yeah, actually, that's what I'm doing now.
Oh, good banter between Bruno Senna and Lasse Sorensen. Let's get a look at the results then. Here they come. What a race. I need to lie down.
It's so weird,
right.
man. I locked the rear completely.
Thank you, Bruno. Right, P1, Lasse Sorensen. He's through to level 5, as is Nico Mueller for P2 and Bruno Senna P3. Regrettably, we lose Dries Vanthoor, Beitski Visa, and Yiffy Yi. I think that we're going to be speaking to Bruno Senna potentially as we go back to Nicki Shields now. Goodness me, what a race that was, Nicki.
I think you could be right. I know, such a good race. Bruno Senna, was that luck or skill? That's the main question. Because, of course, I mean, it was looking like Beitski Visa or Yiffy Yi. But, Bruno, you've managed to make it through to the next level, into the final.
Pure luck, that was, because I did run out of talent behind Lasse there and spun on my own. And then their fight got very tight and managed to get to 3rd place. So thanks very much.
Well, I like your honesty. And it still has secured you a spot in the final. So good luck for that race.
Thank you.
Catch up with how things are going. I mean, that level 4 race was pretty awesome, wasn't it? I mean, I really felt for Beitski Visa and Yiffy Yi because I really thought they were going to get through, or one of them was going to get through. But then Bruno Senna just swept in.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a crazy race. I really enjoyed it. I'm sorry for Beitski in a way because she's also a tough racer and they were battling it out, all the time. It was the spot, where it's crucial to be in P3. Bruno made a mistake, so they were all over the place to each other, and unfortunately, I think they both got a bit tempted, or how do you say, they were a bit too hot going into the second chicane, hitting each other, and I think both were a bit fed up with each other and with this fight. Nobody wanted to give up, and unfortunately, yeah, they had too many contacts, and at the exit, Beitske lost the car, and again, it was a tough one between those two. I think they both had their how do you say, percentage, or let's say fair shares on the crash, and Bruno took it, and that was the lucky one. And even Dries almost made it. So it was a fantastic race, and I hope Lasse doesn't go through that easy tonight.
It really does just get closer and closer. But without further ado, let's head on to the next race.
And here comes the grid then for our esports level 4 semi-final. On the first row of the grid, it's Luca Keita and Lasse Bak then. Then we find Fabrice Cornelis and Risto Capit. And then on the third row of the grid, it is Martin Stefanko and Thomas Schmidt. That's the way it looks then for our starting grid for the level 4 semi-final about to take to the track. Looking forward to this one. If it's half as entertaining as the previous race, by Jiminy, it's going to be good. So, awaiting the drivers then, the Monza track then. And there is Lasse Bak. Already one yellow card to his name and his debut here in the RCCO
don't forget
World
your camera
Championship.
still off.
So the cars assembling on the grid then, and we are just 12 seconds away from the start klaxon then. So Lasse Bak, Luca Keita, Risto Capit, Thomas Schmidt, Martin Stefanko, and there you can see all lined up on the grid.
Good luck.
So as the cars get away then, you may have seen the errant Bruno Senna on the track. That, of course, shouldn't happen. Now, Lasse Bak loses out right at the start to Luca Keita, Risto Capit and Martin Stefanko having something of a battle. So too Fabrice Cornelis, who's in this P3 position. But Luca Keita already has built up something of a margin over Lasse Bak. And, of course, Lasse Bak's rearview mirror is full of Fabrice Cornelis now in P3, having got past. And Risto Capit up to P2. So it is Luca leading from Lasse Bak, and then Fabrice Cornelis in that P3 position. And the P3 position absolutely critical and crucial then. And it is Fabrice Cornelis for the WRT team. And all over the back of Lasse Bak. And oh no! No! Fabrice Cornelis is through the gravel. He can hold on to this car through the gravel and the grass. That was a heck of a save from Fabrice Cornelis. But of course, it's pushed him back down to P6. That is not where he wants to be. So Risto Capit then taking advantage of that, but he's got Martin Stefanko right behind him as we're about to put the first lap in the book. Luca Keita leading by almost 2 seconds, which is very nearly unheard of today. And here comes Bak under threat, and he's in the middle of a sandwich between Martin Stefanko and Risto Capit, and loses out in 2 places potentially. So the Nianco eSports driver Thomas Schmidt, they're also trying to get his way past Bak as well, and he has done it. And of course Fabrice Cornelis, who's recovering from going through the grass and the gravel and just keeping out of the barriers. So Keita leading from Stefanko from Capit then. And there is Risto Capit for RAG eSports then. Picture in picture. Let's go on board with him. He's in that P3 position, but he is chasing down Martin Stefanko, who is P2. So the concentration then from Risto Capit as he tries to gain everything he can and tries to get advantage of any slipstream opportunity that is going to be gifted to him. Off the back of the P2 driver Martin Stefanko. Here comes Risto Capit. Great to be on board with him. Over the curbs and through this Ascari turn then. You actually take so much speed, and Capit's exit from that turn was excellent. And
So
this
is
could be
race control, the collision of lap 1 between Lasse and Fabrice. So please, Lasse, let Fabrice pass.
So Fabrice Cornelis is going ahead of Lasse Bak. So it's going to be P5 for Fabrice Cornelis. Lasseback has got to give that position away, and here comes that switch. So Lasseback doing exactly as he was told, and Fabrice Cornelis then is through to P5, but we're running out of laps for Fabrice Cornelis. It's Luca Kita leading. We're back on board with Risto Capit, then the RAG Esports driver, as he's reeling in. Martin Stefanko puts his car to the outside of the track to deny Risto Capit. And of course,
Sorry.
Capit is hunting and being hunted at the same time because Schmidt is right behind Capit. And Risto Capit then, and Thomas Schmidt, you can see the Nianco eSports driver who is in P4, desperately wants this P3. And Fabrice Cornelis doing absolutely everything he can to try and get on terms with these drivers. Luca Kita leading by 2 seconds and a quarter. P3, P4, the margin is 4/10 between them. Risto Capit to Thomas Schmidt then. So, onto the back straight then, behind the paddock here at Monza. And Martin Stefanko, P2, Risto Capit, P3, then it is Thomas Schmidt. So around the Parabolica they come then. And Luca Kita takes it from, is it going to be Martin Stefanko
Man, third man lap one was
Risto
hectic.
Capit?
Barely avoided death to all.
Another extraordinary race. Luca Kita then did it all right at the beginning of the race, and he did everything right at the beginning of the race right, and finds himself in that P1 position with a very healthy margin, taking the win by some 2 seconds. So Kita, Stefanko and Capet then the top three. Will bring you the confirmation of the result after race control, of course, have had a look at it, and that's when we see the graphics. So going through to level 5, Luca Kita, Martin Stefanko and Risto Capit for RAG Esports. So, and out Thomas Schmidt, Fabrice Cornelis and Lasseback. And let's find out what Luca Kita has got to say is with Nicki Shields right now.
Well, Luca Kita, huge congratulations. This is a real, or potentially could be a real turning point for you in this championship, because of course if you can win today, that means you can secure your place in the finale on the 23rd of November.
Yeah, I hope so.
And the fact also you won by quite a margin, over 2 seconds.
Yeah, I think the decision for the win was definitely the clear way into T1 for the first chicane. I had so much space and the guys behind battling, so yeah, that was, I will say, the decision for the race win.
Well done. You've secured yourself a position in the final. Good luck.
Thanks.
Right, now over the course of the last 8 rounds, we have enjoyed watching that incredible all-electric EX0 car. So before we do move on to those final levels of the E-Prix of Italy, or I should say the EX Prix of Italy, let's take a closer look at that magnificent EX0 car, the world's first and fastest virtual electric race.
The EX0 is the world's fastest virtual electric racing car, created by Le Mans winner and DTM champion Mike Rockenfeller, with the help of technical partners from the real racing world. In theory, the car could become reality. Right now, the virtual version is exclusively available for the R-Factor 2 racing simulation. EX stands for Experimental Electric Prototype, 0 for zero emissions. With 1000 HP and 1000 kilograms, the EX0 has a power-to-weight ratio of 1:1, allowing lap times close to those of the latest LMP1 hybrids. The car accelerates from 0 to 200 kilometers per hour in just 4.6 seconds and is able to reach a top speed of approximately 384 kilometers per hour on the lowest drag configuration. It has 2 forward gears and 4-wheel drive with 2 electric engines, one at the front, one at the rear axle. The 85 kilowatt battery allows about 15 minutes of racing. Together with partners like Formula E and DTM champions at Sportsline, RCCO will keep the EX0 in line with the development of zero-emission drivetrains in the real world. In future, also allowing car brands to develop their own cars for the platform. And all this with a clear purpose, creating awareness for the climate crisis and collecting donations. Each lap completed in the RCCO World EX Championship increases the #Racing for the Climate jackpot, which will be devoted to a climate conservation project selected by the world champion at the end of the season. In the first 7 rounds, 963 laps have been completed, which adds up to a total of €9,630. World EX has partnered with crowdfunding specialists Fundraiser from Canada to collect as many donations as possible, offering fans special incentives they cannot buy. Let's move on to Level 5, the final. And the action has come thick and fast at the Monza EX Prix, exactly as we thought it would, the EX Prix of Italy. Level 5 final then. Row 1, Luca Kita, Lasse Sorensen, side by side. Martin Stefanko and Nico Mueller are on row 2 of the grid. And then we find Risto Capit and Bruno Senna as we mix up our esports and pro drivers then in this starting grid for Level 5, our final here in Monza. Lasse Sorensen then is standing by. He is the most winningest driver in our RCCO World EX Championship, and the skill and the prowess that he has on track just has to be
All right. Let's go.
Good luck.
That's just being nice about you.
Good luck.
There we are.
Good luck, guys.
All the cars are on the
Have
grid,
fun, guys.
and we are just a second away from the starting klaxon. Now, Lasse Sorensen anticipated that start. Yeah, for sure, that's got to be a jump start for Lasse Sorensen. I mean, something went wrong with the klaxons, to be fair. They were all out of sequence, but Lasse Sorensen tried to anticipate it, and I think he went before the lights went. So, it's Lasse Sorensen on track, the leader at the moment, ahead of Luca Kita. Then it's Nico Mueller. Then it's Martin Stefanko, Bruno Senna, and Risto Capit, of course. It's the top 2. We want to find out who are going to be going through. So there he is, Nico Mueller heading Martin Stefanko and Bruno Senna and Risto Capit. Risto Capit for RHG Esports. And here is Martin Stefanko then. And Martin Stefanko currently running in P4, but bear in mind, we've got at the back of our minds that what we think was a jump start from Lasse Sorensen. And here is Luca Kita now, who's really putting the pressure on to Lasse Sorensen. So Luca Kita is so dominant just a short while ago. And as he said, the trick to it was, for him, it was the start. But now Luca Kita just showing his prowess here as he's right on the tail of Lasse Sorensen. Will he dive to the inside of the Parabolica? Well, I don't think he was quite able to do that. Lasse Sorensen closed the door, or made sure the door was not open for him. And so, here is Nico Mueller being chased hard by Martin Stefanko. Stefanko to the outside of Nico Mueller now. This is for 3 on track then. Nico Mueller and Martin Stefanko. Stefanko gets ahead of Nico Mueller. And Bruno Senna is right behind him. It was a very, very good overtake from Martin Stefanko. He's gone through. There's Nico Mueller then, working really, really hard. And now he's got Bruno Senna for company as well. And Risto Capit, by his own standards, seems to be relatively quiet in this race. So Luca Kita from Lasse Sorensen, Martin Stefanko, Nico Mueller, Bruno Senna and Risto Capit. That's the way it looks at the moment. We're on lap 2 of 3. Around the Parabolica, these races come and go. Thick and fast, of course, as these drivers make their way now around this extraordinary Monza track, which has really, really given us so much entertainment tonight. It was the of course, the Curva Grande that we saw the cars in, not the Parabolica. That's where they'll be heading next, once they've done this chicane, and this chicane being the Ascari chicane. And they make their way onto the back straight now, just ahead of the Curva Parabolica. Luca Kita leading Lasse Sorensen, but it is only a 10th, and Lasse Sorensen is continuing to fight here. So Kita from Sorensen, from Stefanko. And of course, it could be dependent upon what happens. What happens with the penalty situation? We've got 1 lap left to run. Let's concentrate and focus on what's happening on track, because that was a brilliant overtake from Lasse Sorensen, who goes through on Luca Kita, and Bruno Senna doing his level best as well, and he is, of course, right at the back of the pack now. So Sorensen, Kita, Stefanko, Mueller, Capit, and Senna. And there is Nico Mueller. That's a good move there from Nico Mueller, and then it went all horribly wrong for him on the exit of that
This is race
chicane.
control. Lasse, you are under investigation because of a possible jump start. The decision will be made after the race when we have time to check the replay in detail.
So Lasse Sorensen then is under investigation, and it's going to be investigated after the race, when the race control have got time to look at all the images, as there's Mueller and Risto Capit going panel rubbing together.
I think there was 100%, but you have to, I don't know, look on how much time I gained, I guess.
And Lasse Sorensen holding his hands up there. So let's go on board with Nico Mueller. So Mueller,
I probably gained 1
ahead of him.
second, and I finished 5 seconds ahead of P3.
So if Lasse is penalised, then that would play right into the hands of Nico Mueller.
You got balls,
potentially.
Yes, good race.
Really difficult, because
Good
of
race.
course the
Good race.
really admire Lasse Sorensen, though. He held his hands up there, didn't he? And we'll wait to see what race controls say. Lasse Sorensen is going to stand by. I think Nicki Shields is going to speak to Lasse before, of course, we get the results. So let's find out what Lasse to say about it.
Sorensen, it is very unusual for us to see you make a mistake. What happened at the jump start of the race?
It's a bad mistake, but racing drivers always have excuses for the mistakes. So I got a new wheel, and it's magnetic shifters, and I think that's why I just pressed it too early, and it just snapped. But yeah, I mean, hopefully I'm not gonna. I only gained like, I don't know, half a second on doing it. So hopefully they can look in consideration to how much I finished ahead.
Yeah. Oh, well, there we go. That's always a bit of an interesting insight there. Well, I'm sure we will find out any second now whether or not, or what that penalty is going to be. Thanks very much, Lasse. All right, Mike. So, do you have some news? What's happened?
Well, he will, the thing is, what Lasse mentioned is a nice try, but obviously there's a rule book, and I know what he's saying, and it's always a shame that, the small mistake on the start is always a big penalty, and I think our penalty is rather fair. We don't look how much he gained. I mean, we cannot do that. So he will get a 5-second penalty, which will put him probably out of the final at the end. So I'm for sure, but things happen like that, and I'm sure the way he explained it is right. But as race control and the rules are the same for everybody, we have to take the decision like that.
No, I think that seems like a very fair ruling. I'm sure Lasse Sorensen would agree, but was just trying his best to minimise the penalty there.
Yeah, I would also do the same. Every time I go to the stewards, I'm also trying very hard in real life. So it's the same here. And Lasse is a good, he's very fair. So just happened, and sorry for him. I think he had a good chance tonight.
Well, we can see a shot of him now, actually. He's still smiling, which is always nice to see.
Yeah, but it was a good excuse. I mean, he said I only gained a little bit, and he's right. But still, we cannot do it. Not yet, at least. We have to change the rule book for you, Lasse, next year. Once we put the penalty weight into play, at the same time, maybe we reduce the penalty for the jump start. Let's see.
My car will go 100 kph down the straight then.
Exactly, but you can start a bit earlier. Let's see.
Brilliant.
Sorry,
Already
mate.
masterminding next season. Well, Mike, thank you for sharing that with us. I think now that it is confirmed that Nico Mueller will be going through to the super final, I think it is time. Next race underway.
It's all or nothing, the super final. One race, one lap, two cars, and the drivers are one Mr. N. Mueller. Nico Mueller then. Fantastic driver, a fantastic guy as well. So Nico Mueller through to the super final. And there you can see him in preparation. Boy, it's some of the most serious that I've seen Nico look for a long time. The Nianco ESports driver. Just preparing for this super final, of course, one lap shootout. That's what it is. So Nico Mueller is going through, and he's just preparing himself for this fantastic opportunity for Nianco ESports, and of course for Nico Mueller, a guy I've spent a lot of time with in DTM, and he's a very fair racer and an awesome racing driver. So let's see what he can do in this super final. So there he is then, and disadvantageously is Nico can't hear me, which is probably just as well. Nico and I go back a long way, and well, I'm delighted to see him into this super final. It will have come as something of a surprise to him, of course, because it wasn't until the penalty was awarded to Lasse Sorensen that we knew that Nico Mueller would be going through into this super final, this one-lap shootout, then across the 5.793 kilometer Monza circuit. And Nicki, I know that you're able to speak to Nico Mueller, and perhaps you can just have a quick word with him and wish him all the best from me. Not that I have any bias, of course.
I will indeed. Nico Mueller, were you expecting to see yourself in the super final?
To be honest, bit surprised, but positive surprised. Looking forward to that one. I think the racing has been really exciting from inside the car, but hopefully also to watch. And it would be cool, obviously, to fight at the very sharp end now in the super final. That's what the goal has to be.
Absolutely. No, it's a brilliant result. Brilliant to see you here. And obviously that bit of practice has really paid off. And a message from Dave in commentary. He wishes you all the best of luck.
Yes. Just what he doesn't need is that commentator's curse, Nicki.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Nico. Luca Kita, Nico Mueller then. We are just a few seconds away from the start of this super final race. So the cars assembling on the grid then, Nico Mueller and Luca Kita. There you can see the Euronics team and the Nianco ESports drivers.
Good luck, guys.
Good luck is offered. Who will be victorious? Well, we are just seconds away from finding out then as the cars ready to go head-to-head in this one-lap battle to find who is going to be the ultimate winner of the EX Prix of Italy here in Monza. The klaxon sounds, stand by. Let's go, Nico Mueller with a centimetre ahead then as they head in towards turn number one. Is he going to be a full car length ahead? Is he going to be able to close the door? He's certainly going to try, but unfortunately he wasn't. So they trade a little bit of paint, but it's awfully fair between the two of them. And now Nico Mueller squeezes. Oh no! And Mueller has got around us into the barriers. Wow, race control. Poor Mike Rockenfeller. He's had such a busy night tonight. And he's undoubtedly going to take a look at that.
I had no room on the outside. I was on the gravel.
Nico Mueller tries to recover. And you can see how just ill-handling the car is now. So this super final then with Nico Mueller out of it effectively. Plays nicely into the hands of the Team Euronics driver then. Well, it's not the super final that we expected. We wanted them to fight tooth and nail, but of course things happen and contact is made, and just sometimes the races do not go the way that we think they will. So Luca Kita then, undaunted, unchallenged, and you can see Luca Kita is absolutely not enjoying this. He really wanted to be pushed and to be challenged. And, of course, he heads towards the line now. It is but a one-lap shootout, with that to be not so much of a shootout. Luca Kita and Nico Mueller, P1 and P2. Subject, of course, to what race control will say. But you can see Luca Kita is almost as disappointed as Nico Mueller probably is.
Oh dear, cannot even drive straight anymore.
Oh, and
no, it's gone. Oops.
Oh, God.
Nico in all sorts of strife then without the rear.
We just slightly touched, and I kept turning to the left, and the thing was going right. I was like, no.
Well, both very, very fair guys.
It's frustrating when both try to be so clean, and then what you don't want to happen happens.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
Well, Nico doing his level best to bring the car back.
Man.
So,
well,
Nicki
Luca
Shields
Kita,
then.
it's not quite the way you wanted to win. I appreciate that, but you have won the race, which gets you through into the final on the 23rd of November. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Talk us through what happened from your point of view, from your perspective.
Yeah, hard to say. We going too wide to the first chicane. Yeah, the space on the outside was really. It was not easy, and then my half car was on the gravel, and yeah, we touched more times, and at the end he spun, I would say. So I'm happy on one side, but on the other side not happy, because the races before were so clean and so much fun, and yeah, that it ended now like this is frustrating.
Frustrating, although I suppose you've come so close to winning a race in the past, and now finally you have. So I think you've still got to take this moment, enjoy it, and celebrate. Be proud.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Well, congratulations, Luca Kita there. And yeah, you can look forward to securing your position in that grand finale at the Nordschleife, of course, on the 23rd of November. Well done.
Thanks.
Have to put lots of practice in for that one. Yeah, particularly, of course, being a home race for you. So a track that I'm sure you hopefully will have a bit of a home advantage.
I don't know. I mean, it's. I would say it's really hard with this cars. I don't know how to drive on it, but I think it will be fun to train for it and maybe have the race then. Yeah, I'm happy.
Good. Well done. Very, very well deserved, that's for sure. All right. Okay. So now it's time to have a quick catch up with Mike Rockenfeller. See what he makes of that grand super final race. Luca Kita, obviously disappointed there that he didn't get to have a proper race against Nico Mueller. But at the same time, these things happen. It's a race incident. What can he do?
Yeah, exactly. I think we saw amazing racing tonight. I'm really, really proud of all the drivers. Of course, small incidents happen. Those cars are very, tricky in this, let's say, simulation. When you touch slightly, sometimes the handling gets really out of control, which we saw now. I have to say, Luca was for me one of the favorites beside Lasse. So the big surprise already was Nico. Not that I don't think he's good enough to be, but he really did well. He had clean racing, and he had a chance because in the one lap final, you never know. If you make the start and you make the first corner, and maybe Luca makes a mistake, he can win the event tonight. He didn't. Still, I think he can be very happy. And like said, I think Luca did an amazing job the whole year, and happy for him that he's now in the big final at the Nordschleife. Very much looking forward to that. I mean, we still have a round to go before we come to our final event this year. And again, I think we saw a lot of great action tonight. Good racing, cool battles. I really loved it.
Yeah, it was. And as you always say, it's been great, clean racing. And that's what has been so important throughout this championship. You know, the drivers clearly really respect each other, which is so wonderful to see and watch. Right. Thank you for doing, what was it, 2, 3 jobs tonight? You can have a break now.
I'm a bit sweated, I tell you. Thanks for your help, Nicki, and your effort. It's always a pleasure to have you with us, and yeah, looking forward to the next round and see you all virtually again.
Absolutely, absolutely. Not long till the next round, and round 9 it will be. It gets underway. But this has been episode 8 in Racing at Monza. It has been truly incredible to see our 20 drivers battle it out, the pros against the esport drivers. But congratulations to Luca Kita for securing himself a position in that grand finale on the 23rd of November. But we do still have another round to go. Thank you so much for watching Racing for the Climate and the RCCO World EX Championship. We will see you on the 26th of October for our next EX Pre. But until then, goodbye.